What's up, Conkers? We are taking a look at GUA's USA Cup, the grand finals between GUA and MOKOMI. It's going to be a best of 7 series, and taking a look at the map draft right now while I get a couple things set up for the stream on my side. And I'm anticipating this is going to be a long one, so get yourself a bowl of popcorn, settle in, grab a soda. Potential to be 7 games total. So we're taking a look here at their map draft. Each player is going to get 2 bans. And then each player is going to get 3 selections. And then basically out of the maps remaining, a randomized pick occurs, and that's the first map you start on. So loser of each game always gets to pick what map they want to play. So really interesting, they've banned a lot of the hybrid maps. I actually like playing the hybrid maps. I think that's because I like being aggressive early in games. So only hybrid map we've got in this draft is Frisian Marshes, Coastal Cliffs not actually being a hybrid map. King of the Hill coming in before the hybrid maps. That's kind of shocking to me that King of the Hill was selected over Golden Heights, Holy Island, or Kawasan or Kalagar. I certainly would have thought that one of those maps would get chosen over King of the Hill. King of the Hill is a really odd map to play in a tournament game, so I'm really curious what civilizations they would play on that map. But there we have it. MOKOMI banning Golden Heights and Holy Island for maps. The GUA banning Kawasan Kalagar. So that's 4 of the 5 hybrid maps in the entire draft. And then we've got MOKOMI picking Pigeon's View, Gorge, Frisian Marshes. GUA picking Lipany, Coastal Cliffs, King of the Hill. Normally, someone picks Lipany, I kind of expect them to go with the Byzantine play. Let's see if we can find their civilization draft in here. We've got it. And might need to expand my screen out a bit here. There are so many civilizations that you can pick from in a best of 7 series. You actually have to zoom out a little bit to see them all. Some really interesting bans here coming through. I've always been one to just immediately ban China. In my mind, China's the best civilization in the game, so let's ban it. Neither player banning China yet, though. MOKOMI prioritizing Ottoman and Jushi's legacy, which, you know, is semi-China. And GUA picking China first, yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic pick. If you can pick China, you definitely should. MOKOMI actually going with HRE as his first pick. Which I'm not sure HRE is as strong as they once were. So each player now going for a ban. French coming in as a ban for MOKOMI, Malian for GUA. So I know GUA plays a lot of French. That's probably why MOKOMI goes for the ban. It's difficult though. I'd probably just leave French out there and take my chances. I'd probably ban a stronger overall civilization. But 3 bans from both players. I like the ban on Malian. Again, surprised neither player banned China. But Japan and Malian, both really strong civs. Sengoku, a strong civ to ban. Ottoman. Yeah, Mali's an interesting one. Hey, Born Center, how's it going? Thanks for joining the live, man. Hopefully we're gonna get some good games in today. I don't know, I feel like bans, you know, since these are both really good players, they're not pro players though, so I feel like bans a lot of the time come down to more, what do you not want to play against, or what does your opponent play? Yeah, I would probably not ban Malian just because I try to pick Malian. So if I'm going for bans, I'm almost always going to ban China and Juji, and then I might ban House of Lancaster or Byzantine. I would probably not ban Malian, but everybody has their different preferences. I normally just try to ban the best civilizations out there. Neither guy's actually selected Byzantine. Yeah, Malian's definitely one of the best civilizations in the game, but you don't want to go imp really with them at all. Like, post-imperial's not really that good for Malian. You're really trying to win with that Castle Age timing attack if you're Malian. Like, you survive your feudal, you get your cows up, you get the cow boom, you age up, you get your veterancies, you spam a metric ton of units, and then you win the game. That's really the play always with Malian. Yeah, it's interesting MOKOMI picked English so high as well. Wonder what his play there is. Neither have picked Mongol, obviously, you know, the best civ in the game. Just kidding, but I mean, I kind of like GUA's Giraffe right now. I would love to see one of them. One of them should play Tughlaq on Frisian Marshes. You know, I did a video recently about how good Tughlaq is on these hybrid maps. Definitely think one of them should try to tap into that. Yeah, Mongols is tough, man. Mongols is tough. Obviously, that's my civ. I love playing Mongols, but they've got a lot of weak points, right? And Mongols have to be ultra aggressive early or you're gonna lose the game. I make up for a lot of Mongols' weak points by a lot of Mangadai Micro, to be honest. KT, you know, you're kind of just trying to pick what civs you have left here. KT, I don't love that pick because there's only one hybrid map. But you are getting to the end of the rope as far as civs that you can pick now. Byzantine's actually a fantastic pickup at 7th pick for MOKOMI. That's like really good. If you can play Byzantine on Lipany or something like that. GUA gets Mongols. I think he's actually pretty good with Mongol Golden Horde. Yeah, I'm glad I made the videos look easy because it doesn't feel easy when I play, I'll be honest. Let me know how you like Sengoku though. I've been thinking about trying to pick up Sengoku a bit too because I think they're really strong actually. I think it's a really good civ. I know MOKOMI's really good with them, which is probably why GUA banned them. They just have a weird start, so it's going to take me some practice if I want to learn them. So, ton of civilizations both guys have available in this best of 7. Yeah, I think Sengoku's just one of those you end up playing. You know, you're just trying to kind of stay alive in your feudal. It's one of those civs. You're probably going to have to build some units in feudal, stay alive, and then get to your castle. I actually saw MOKOMI not going Shinobi. He was going the other landmark, which the name escapes me. Where you get like 60 pop, but I think it's actually underrated how good the heal is. It heals like only 3 HP every 5 seconds or something like that, but that's global. So like if you get in a fight or your villagers get hurt or whatever, you have global healing. It's actually pretty insane. What's up, Daxmus? We're doing a little, thanks for joining the live stream. We're doing a little live stream of the grand finals today. I'm anticipating it's probably going to be a couple hours. Nah, I don't think Sengoku's better than Malian, but I maybe haven't played Sengoku enough to make a judgment on that. I have very high respect for Malian as a civilization. I think they're one of the best civs in the game. I think like China, Malian, House of Lancaster, Byzantine. It's also super map dependent too, though. Which doesn't always feel like it on ranked ladder, but when these guys are doing the tournaments and stuff, it really matters. A lot of land maps, though. Matric. What's up, Conquer? Getting some live stream going here. Yeah, whenever they get into the games here, we'll get things going. They might have, this might be their first match picks. Yep. I'm gonna have to actually keep written down 7 games. I'm gonna have to keep up with the win-loss here. So they get 2 picks. The first map is Dry Arabia, actually. Oh, Byzantine versus China. It's actually an interesting question, like, do you just let them play their best civ on the first map? Or do you ban it? Just on lunch? Don't they know you have Age of Empires to watch? We can't be having lunch, just lunch, if we've got Age of Empires to watch. Born Center, to be completely honest with you, probably not. And I can explain why in a second. I just want to see this snipe. Hopefully my screen's not flashing for you. It doesn't look like it is on the live stream, but on OBS it's having a seizure right now. Okay, perfect. Appreciate it. Glad it's not. So GUA snipes out Byzantine. I actually might have just let MOKOMI play Byzantine here. But you could also just plan on sniping Byzantine every time. MOKOMI actually sniping Jeanne d'Arc, which is really interesting. He might not have wanted, so like French and Jeanne d'Arc, because of their feudal knights, are really pretty good against Byzantine. So he might have been worried about a potential matchup of Byzantine Jeanne d'Arc, which that would make sense. I know, man. They're like, you gotta work at the end of the year. You're like, yeah, but there's a GUA USA Cup going on. Yeah, Born Center, so it's kind of fun to play in the big tournaments. Obviously, I'm never going to be, like, getting to the playoffs of those and things like that. For several reasons. 1, I'm just not good enough. 2, I don't spend nearly the amount of time that I need to get better. You know, some of the guys... I play a lot of Age of Empires, for sure. But some of the guys I look at how much they actually play... And it's like, you know, anywhere from 2 to 3 times to 10 times the amount of Age of Empires I play. So it's just hard. You know, I have maybe a core group of like 4 or 5 civs that I can play, like at a high level. but not much more than that. Of course, Mongol always gets banned if I play in a tournament. So, you know, the big ones I can, in the qualifiers and stuff, I can win like the first round, second round kind of stuff. But yeah, once you get up to the qualifiers, that's kind of the big dogs. Those top maybe 10 to 15 guys are kind of on another level. So it's fun to play in them sometimes. Just depends what I have going on. I think the last one I played in was the, what was it, the Rockies? King of the Rockies? And yeah, that was fun. I mean, I would definitely do that again. Easy work. Easy work. Yeah, I mean, I think most of the time it's just the timing of the tournaments that makes me... Like, Killer Pigeon does this midweek muster thing. I can't play on, like, Thursday at, you know, 9 a.m. or something. I have to work. So I think a lot of the times it's more of a... I unfortunately have things I have to do, you know, during those times or the weekends. So I can't play in them. Let me see. These guys are probably setting up a lobby here pretty soon. Then we'll get into our first game. It's going to be pretty exciting. Just got to win the lottery. Yeah, you know, I've talked about that with my friend. He and I have talked about if we get the lottery win, we could play a lot of Age of Empires. Exactly. Matrick, I actually got to play. It was in... I can't remember what tournament it was. Scarlet Devil, who's much better than me, but probably not familiar with me at all, beat me 3-1, I think it was. But he let me play Mongol. The Mongol game was not close. I beat him really bad the game I played Mongol. The other three, you know, he had me in those. They weren't like blowouts, like they were decent games, but yeah, anybody who is familiar with me, they should for sure ban Mongol. And just play very high level with them. And you know, a lot of the high level guys don't really do the whole Mangadai thing. They play like a more traditional tri-comp, which I used to always do with Mongol until Mongol got rebuffed. So, yeah, a lot of people don't expect the Mangadai spam. Says give you anxiety is in the lobby. So we might be going here soon. And this is a rematch, so MOKOMI did beat GUA. I think it was 3-2. Maybe in the winners finals. And this is the grand final. Mangadai are the most fun unit. 100%. I had a pro one time. I'm not talking trash here. I just had a lot of the pros say I play weird or whatever, and that it's not an efficient play style, and yeah, but I have a great time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Like, playing with Mangadai, like going Mangadai, Keshik, and trading, it's a blast. I would rather do that and have a fantastic time than worry about winning all the time. Yeah, French Knights Feudal are insane. I think people forget how powerful French Knights Feudal are, especially with the better players. I appreciate it, man. I try to stomp some games. I just try to, like, my mindset is always, if I'm not having a great time doing it, I'm not going to keep doing it. You know, if I'm just grinding the game to try to get better or whatever, I'll get better as I have fun, which I have over time, you know, considerably. Like my Mongol Dark Age Rush. Because, yeah, the Mongol Dark Age Rush is pretty good. Just depends on the civ. Ooh, I'm gonna need mod consent. Let's see what happens here. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed here. Alright. Alright. It says I've downloaded. Ooh. Here we go. Alright, game 1 of GUA's USA Cup. This is the Grand Finals, best of 7, first game, EGC Dry Arabia. And we have the observer delay. So, I'll introduce players once we get in there. Yeah, I think that's what I kind of pride myself on the content that I put out, trying to explain the game while I play. Because I don't think, I'm sure there are other people out there doing it. I just don't think there's a lot of people that do the raw gameplay footage while explaining their gameplay like I do. I don't really see that from, and I don't watch a lot of streams, but I'll pull up streams or whatever, and it's kind of and I'm not hating on people, it's just a different style. They're clicking on the keyboard, but it's always like kind of silent, right? And so I always try to make a point of, exactly, they are too locked in. 100% get that. Like, they're locked in playing the game. But yeah, I'm always trying to just kind of explain what I'm doing. So to introduce players, even though they need no introduction, we've got Give You Anxiety playing the Chinese in the color purple. I actually want to talk about this build in a second. Then fighting out of the blue corner, we've got MOKOMI playing House of Lancaster, going for a Dark Age rush here, which I love a good Dark Age rush. So let's see how he does here. It's actually really interesting the way he's done his sheep all in that corner. So, what's really interesting about this is GUA is not going for an Imperial official, so those that don't play China, a lot of builds with China, the first thing you queue up is an Imperial official, and he supervises the mill. And the big thing with him is he can collect the tax from the mill. That's really important for your gold counts. So GUA is going to collect this gold early. He hasn't actually scouted the barracks yet. He might just kind of know that a Dark Age rush is possible here, so he's scouting. But he hasn't scouted the racks. So that's really interesting. He's just got that sixth sense, man. He kind of knows what's coming from House of Lancaster. So, worst case scenario, MOKOMI, burns down the mining camp, causes a little idle time. But GUA is going to get enough gold here, and he's going to be fine. Normally, getting the Imperial official early saves you from that pain, because you've got the tax from the mill anyways. Oh my god, that villager got really low. There's a unique scenario where you can actually pin a villager against the gold mine with 2 spearmen. Which every once in a while I can get done. He's still going out for more gold. Oh. Oh, that was a close one. So now just focusing the guys on food, of course. Gonna get the age up in. And so I've always played China with the Imperial official being built off the bat. That's how I learned back in Season 3. Still villagers coming out here for gold. Just a bit dangerous, really. Maybe he's trying to pull some of the spearmen in the TC range, but I have seen a lot of the players much better than me. They just go no official and then go Imperial Academy so that they don't have any issues where they have to build the Imperial official out of the town center and they miss a villager and all that good stuff. So that's kind of what he's doing here. Oh, I know why he's going out here for gold. He doesn't have enough gold for an Imperial official. So he's kept coming out here. Oh, that town center shot was massive. MOKOMI's just being a little, he's playing it pretty well, but just a little too much into the TC. So MOKOMI on this side, kind of standard, float a little food, but should be aging up here. And then the kings are going to be out. He's got the budget mine is what I call it. Some people don't like that name. He's got the superior mining camp out here where he can mine from stone and gold. It's a little bit idle time, but nothing too crazy. My least played civ. Probably Abbasid. If boomy civs, really boomy civs, I don't play, right? That's not my... So, you always want to play to, like, your playstyle strengths, is how I like to think about it. That's not my playstyle strength, like, as a player, is kind of an aggressive mentality. Whether that be, like, feudal or Castle Age timing push or whatever. And so, Abbasid... Ooh, the scout pulled him. That's unfortunate. He's going to lose both the spearmen. But it happens. Dude, look at that shot. Look at that shot. Did you see where that shot just hit the spearman? 8 tiles of range, more like 13. Yeah, I'm a super aggressive player when it comes to this game. So, I would do something exactly like MOKOMI's doing, actually. Like, if I can play civs that can drop a barracks in Dark Age, I want to play them. MOKOMI's actually had significant idle time on his town center if you look at the villagers right now. So that's something to really keep in mind. He just queued one up, but I am just going to throw out there. GUA is actually at 4 villagers right now. And it seems like such a small thing in game. But that's really a big deal. Like, and I talk about this in my videos, and I'm bad about idling my town center. But if you're idling your town center, you're like slowly losing the game, right? Basically, every time you don't make a villager, it's like someone just got on your wood line and killed a villager. So, idling the TC out's really rough. There's a lot of really hurt Chinese villagers in here, though. Right for the taking later, so... GUA researching pro scouts here. MOKOMI going with the stable for some Hovlar. Of course, he's going to make some kings and then some spearmen. He's got his manor up for the aura. So it's going to passively generate some resources here for him with all the villagers in the vicinity, which is super nice. So we're pretty much going to see a fight over pro scouts. And I think MOKOMI should be alright with this. Because Lancaster can make a lot of units really early. We're seeing a stone pickup from GUA for this, most likely this outpost. So I think MOKOMI sees him going over to that deer. Right? Yeah, MOKOMI can see that. A little bit of a dive again. I'm not sure that's intentional. I think the scout probably lures, right? The king does a surprising amount of damage. Oh, we've got a spearman in the waiting here for these scouts. Oh, and a Hovlar coming in from the top row. Yeah, so... Yeah, I use a lot of terms just because I've been playing Age of Empires 4 since 2021 now, so if there's something you don't understand, feel free to ask. Basically, Pro Scouts is a technology you can research at the mill, and your scouts can go pick up deer off the map. Normally, you'd have to walk out here and your villagers harvest them with a mill, but when you research the technology, your scouts can actually go pick the deer up and bring it home. So it keeps... The trade-off is the technology costs a lot, and you have to build scouts, which are useless, pretty much, other than scouting. But you get a lot of safe food under your mill, in this case, but your town center range, you're not exposed on the map. So, there are some civs that are more prone to this pro scouts play. It looks like these guys are moving out for the boar. I just want to say this is great play by GUA. I do this a lot. He actually had the scout or the horseman patrolling here. I think he's going to miss these guys. He had a perfect patrol on the boar with the horseman there. MOKOMI looks like he's really doing a decent job of denying pro scouts, getting some scout kills. Oh, dude. GUA just missed that. GUA had a horseman on patrol route on this boar. And as soon as he pulled him away, ooh, villager goes down from the boar. Mighty infantry getting in here as well. He didn't want to see that boar taken down. Still the pro scouts fight out here. No, I'm not on Twitch. I've never, it's not that I have anything against Twitch. I'm not like an anti-Twitcher. Just, you know, I'm just a YouTube guy through and through, man, since 06 or whenever it came out. So still trying to deny some pro scouts out here. I'm trying to keep up with the comments while I watch. Manor going down on the deer, which is super nice. So MOKOMI about to be on deer and boar. He's already gotten survival techniques, which is really solid. And he's just trying to keep up the pressure on the front of GUA's base. GUA has gotten hand cannon slits. A lot of action happening in this game. The lords are going to be super difficult for GUA to deal with at this point. So he's kind of diving with the lords right now, but it's really difficult to kill these lords unless you have heavy cavalry, which GUA does not. So you can see how little damage they're taking, but the hand cannon slit does help a lot here because it pierces through armor. Yeah, the deer carcass, when it gets carried, does lose food now, and it's actually pretty significant. We'll see if we can catch one. I actually thought Pro Scouts was in an alright spot before that, but there are some civs that are just really good with Pro Scouts, like China, Juji, HRE can do it. Little Horseman raid back here again. You know, Roos is going to do Pro Scouts. Like, the thing with Pro Scouts is, you kind of know the civ is going to do it. So I've always just not gone Pro Scouts and tried to be like a Pro Scouts denier. Where I send units out and stop them from getting Pro Scouts. Ooh, this is going to be a nice little raid from GUA. GUA is always finding raids. You can see MOKOMI's actually down 8 villagers right now. Which is not good at this stage in the game. He's about to lose more. GUA is aging up. Really good find here. This is a classic. Oh, no. Oh, dude. GUA almost walked right past him. There's actually a tower coming up here, but... yeah, more villagers going down. This fresh deer, I actually want to see how much food a fresh deer has on it when it's dropped here. So I'm just going to pivot for just a second. Oh, wow. Oh, that deer lost like 80 or 90 food coming from there. That's really significant. I'm actually a little shocked by that. I thought it would be like 50, but that's actually pretty insane. Yeah, I actually also kind of like Pro Scout with Malian. It feels really good because you have Warrior Scouts. I like making Warrior Scouts anyways, so... GUA caught out here. So since I do the same thing as GUA, I can really comment on this. Is he sends small groups of units, and he's going to deny this white tower for now, but he sends small groups of units to raid like this, and it's really effective. Like, you get a lot of villager kills, but sometimes, if they're smart, they can really catch you out and kill your units on the map. But multiple raids here coming in from GUA. The Lancers are going to be coming out of the base. I'd just rally him to the opponent's base. He honestly might be able to stop this white tower if he rallies out Lancers. But he's all over the place right now. Came to play today. And so, anytime you get up to Castle Lake GUA... You know, you want to spam out units, get your ranged upgrades for your Lancers. Ideally here, you know, he's really pumping out Lancers. You can see he's probably just APM capped out in a lot of different places, but you want to be spamming Lancers here and throwing down a temple prayer tent, whatever it's called, to start grabbing these relics because you're in castle first. This is going to be a decent position for the White Tower because you have boar and gold here. But these units are giving MOKOMI a hell of a time down here. I mean, this is kind of rough. GUA is doing a really good job of pressure here. GUA is going into Palace Guard. Now, ooh, he moved out to boar, but something happened with the mill. Sometimes if you put the mill down and the boar dies where the mill is going to go, the blueprint goes away, which is... These guys are strong, though. He's carrying 30 pounds of boar meat. He's doing a 5K with it. So Lancer's going to trade well here, even against Spearmen, just because they are Castle Age Lancers at the end of the day, right? So if you can get enough Lancers, they'll overwhelm them. Here come the Hobblars, and MOKOMI trying to push a little bit. Lancer running around the backside for GUA. Once the Barbican of the Sun comes down, Song Dynasty is going to be in play for China. What that does is increase the speed your villagers produce. So it won't be 20 seconds, it'll be 15. Actually coming up on the boar. Oh, these Hobblars, they're going to be close. Does MOKOMI see this? He's not going to get there. The Chinese villagers just build so quickly. It's going to go up for sure. So nice play there. White Tower's going to protect him here. I'm honestly impressed how many units MOKOMI is making and how well his economy is doing against China, and he's down 11 villagers. I think this is the power of the Lancaster Manors right now. I don't have another explanation for it. Other than that. We need to keep an eye on relics. Fight here, Lords against Lancers. Oh, more Lancers coming in from the back, though. Sniped out that Lord pretty easily, and it's kind of a mosh pit of units. GUA was trying to pick up a monk, but that Lancer just sent him into the next dimension. Yeah, it is crazy, man. The Lancaster unit spam is real. It really is. GUA going with a broad mix of units here, which is smart. A lot of guys will just go Lancers, and then you can just respond with Spears. But this is a good fight for GUA. He's going to clear the army out for MOKOMI, I think. I keep thinking that, and MOKOMI keeps making more units. It is tougher when the Lords go down, though. Another monk kill. You can see GUA making a lot of monks out. He's actually supervising the monastery to get these relics. Res per minute, really pretty even. House of Lancaster even down 13 villagers, 12, 13 villagers right now. And the res looks even. I think the key inflection points in this game for everybody watching, and thanks for joining live on YouTube, is going to be when these berries run out. When these food sources on the map run out, how does the farm transition for these players look? It's going to be pretty key. Veteran Hobblars coming in, some other upgrades, range defense, Lumberjack upgrade for MOKOMI. GUA doing a bit better on his upgrades than MOKOMI at the moment. Yes, sir. Thanks for watching. You know, I think for casting the YouTube live is really fun. I think a lot of my Mongol videos, I'll probably still just do like the normal, the normal video thing. But I feel like free-for-all, for sure. Free-for-all Crucible casting. I feel like those are all really good for YouTube live. MOKOMI picking up some more stone. Actually getting a sprinkled defense out here at this outpost. 2 relics already in for GUA, but MOKOMI actually snacking up 2 here, and the third one's in his base, so GUA is starting to wall up. I like this. I like this a lot. Big walls on the top side. You've been lurking on some live streams? I appreciate the lurking, man. As long as you're enjoying the content. Happy to have you here. Yeah, I don't know. I might try to get some Crucible in the next week or two. It's either going to be random free-for-all or Crucible. Maybe potentially this weekend, but if not this weekend, definitely next week I'll have a little time off. So, Spear Mass building. A lot of Lancers building up for GUA. He is going into what kind of looks like Horseman Crossbow here, just based on what he's got queued. And things have kind of calmed down here. I feel like the tempo of the game slowing down here. A lot of fighting to start the game. But things have slowed. GUA, I think overall doing a much better game with his upgrades. Blacksmith and eco-wise, you can kind of compare him to MOKOMI's in the top right. So his economy, just based off the upgrades, generally going to be faring better. You know, a 10% increase, you're on 70 villagers. That's a huge increase, man. It's basically seven more villagers gathering food, right? Same with your wood. So the economy tech's really, really important at this point in the game. And you can kind of see with China's economy, it's really starting to scale on MOKOMI here with the economy. Second town center coming down from MOKOMI, though. He probably, you know, when you're playing in the game, you kind of get this sense of where your economy is or not. You're kind of familiar when you've played the game so much of fighting infantry on the back. Sometimes I'll look at my eco count, and depending on where I am in the game, I'm like, oh yeah, that's bad. I need a second town center. So it's probably what MOKOMI's thinking here, and that'll help him catch up for sure. But he'll have to survive during that time frame, as this Chinese army is going to build. MOKOMI still rolling out. I mean, I feel like every time he's had any space, he takes that opportunity to go attack. Yeah, man, Mongols are the civ. Ottomans are fun. They're a slow starting civ, though. Ooh, a lot of villagers out here might get caught out, so a little distraction here, and then the knights coming in on the vills. Gonna get a couple vills. It's a nice little pickup, but you do want to get out of there before you lose all your units. Oh, these vills are still trying to build the wall. More vills going down. They actually got 5 villager kills there, so really not too bad. GUA, it's got the granary transition coming online, and once China gets the granary transition up, they're damn hard to stop. This is kind of the timing where you would want to kill China, is when they've just built this. But once it's up, it's a tough civ to fight against once that granary transitions through. You're going to see that food skyrocket, and if he gets some Imperial officials on this, is really where you want your officials. I'm not sure where all of his officials are now. Probably some picking up gold, right? But a little bit of Sacred Site decapping and capturing here. MOKOMI grouping up again, just a bit of a slow. Still got the knights back here, which is impressive. It might be the end. That might be Caster's Curse. Yeah, Mongol, you know, I never say I'm an expert, but when it comes to Mongol gameplay, I'm an expert. I've played a lot of Mongol, man, and I'm very good with Mongol. It's a unique style of gameplay for sure. It's the all cav, and it's not that you know, the thing is, you always want to be flexible. It's not always that I have to go all cav, but I love it. I love just Mangudai Keshik Horseman. And yeah, if you can learn it, man, I mean, you can really win a lot of games. It's very effective. Don't let people tell you it's not effective at higher levels, because it is. This horseman's blocked this wall and is slaughtering villagers. You kind of have to, you know, be good with the split push. You know when to hit your enemy, know when you need to pull back. Great Wall Gatehouse coming down for GUA to protect the granaries. And it's not looking good for MOKOMI at this point in the game. He does have the 2TC, but GUA is going to be an imp. Still getting raided on the backside, but GUA's had great raids. Give you more raids. I'm glad people do like the Mongol gameplay. I, you know, appreciate you guys saying so. A lot of farms coming down around these manors. Finally getting horticulture. That's going to be big for him. He's got 25 villagers on food, so horticulture going to be big. More manors coming down. He's probably not going to be stoked when he sees the China Zhugnu upgrade coming through for GUA. Is GUA about to put on some elite Zhugnu here? Or is he just clicking upgrades? I would love to see a Zhugnu spam. But yeah, MOKOMI not really going to be able to push here with the Great Wall. Not even the Mongols could break the Great Wall. No, yeah, for sure, you're right. I mean, a lot of the time, like, the players who've played against me a lot, they, especially when I'm playing Mongol, they know what's coming right here from GUA. They know that the Mangudai and Keshik, like, the aggression is going to come from me. But I do like having the mentality of, like, I don't care if you know what I'm going to do, you know, try to stop it kind of thing. Now, you really always want to be flexible in your gameplay. You know, if you got to make some spearmen, make some spearmen. You got to make some archers, you know, like, mix things up if you need to, but I'm going to be aggressive regardless. Whether it's some sort of tri-comp or whether it's with Cav. That's a lot of Lancers heading for MOKOMI's base. The GUA with a nice little wall in here, you see players do that a lot. If they come in for a raid, wall them in, then kill the raid. That's a lot of cavalry in MOKOMI's base. It's probably like 10 Lancers and more horsemen. I think MOKOMI's got to pull back to try to handle this. And GUA just burning the farms, which is actually a really good tactic. Not just when you're Mongol. Each farm's 75 wood, right? So you're basically destroying your opponent's food economy, and they're going to have to collect wood to rebuild the farms. Villagers are just in flight here. 33 villagers running for their lives. So MOKOMI back here to clean things up. I mean, GUA is going to lose a lot of cav here, but it is tough to lose that much cav. But I think the idle time probably worth it. Like the villager kills plus the idle time plus the burnt farms. Because you've got your granaries up already, so you should be fine. I was kind of hoping we were going to see Zhugnu. He only made a couple of them. He got the veterancy upgrade, but not the elite upgrade. He's got a lot of stone in the bank. Just keep that in mind if he drops a keep later. But the unit spam from GUA is coming across the map now. The Berkshire getting rushed down from MOKOMI here. 46 villagers. He knows it's do or die here. GUA is looking really strong. But this Berkshire getting just thrown down here. Normally you want to go Wingard with House of Lancaster for the garrison command, but MOKOMI's feeling the pressure here, feeling like it's do or die to get to this imp up and survive. Here comes the Berkshire. Berkshire is super strong defensive landmark. I will say MOKOMI has actually passed GUA and economy because MOKOMI's been on this second town center so long. So that's gonna scale pretty well as this game continues. Now keep in mind, Chinese economy is better, but MOKOMI does have these manors set up. And if GUA continues to fight into the Berkshire, he will pay for that. There is a raid. MOKOMI finding his way in here. I have no idea how he got back into the farms. Like, I actually don't know. But he is in the farms. And when you get Lancers in your granaries, you're going to have a bad time. Upgrades coming through for MOKOMI. What we'd love to see with House of Lancaster. Elite Spear upgrade coming in. Tithe Barn's going to start building Yeoman. So only the Veteran upgrade for Yeoman, but don't worry. He's going to get the Imperial one. If he can get the Imperial one with the Sync Shot, he could do pretty good damage against his army. He might have actually been able to get away with just the Wingard Palace here, but I totally understand why the Berkshire got thrown down. He was feeling the pressure. GUA was an imp. He's 20 vills up now, and this is a big fight. Big fight. Elite Spearmen are in. Spearmen just tanking the entire front. They've got the Billman upgrade. GUA trying to circle the horsemen around to deal with the crossbows. And I think he's realizing it might be time to retreat here. MOKOMI's mass looking kind of huge at the base. And he's going to sacrifice these guys and go for a horseman raid on the backside. Which I'm not sure MOKOMI sees, but you do have the Berkshire here these days. So it's going to help him out a lot. A lot of gold villagers out here on this big gold mine. Here comes the horseman raid. A lot of fighting happening at the front. Keep in mind these are just veteran Zhuge Nu. Not the Imperial Zhuge Nu that you wish you had. And the horseman raids are going to become less and less effective. See you, Metric. I'd say have fun at work, but I know that's hard to do, so. See you, buddy. MOKOMI is taking the fighter into the keep. There's no boiling oil on the keep. Villagers for GUA are going to go down. MOKOMI looking pretty good here at this fight. The horsemen are kind of circling back around. They didn't commit to a raid. So I think at that point, you got to commit the horsemen to a raid because they're already so out of position. Oh my god, there are so many villagers who just went down on that gold mine for GUA. MOKOMI is going to lose the army because this Chinese keep has an actual machine gun in it. But here comes, I say that, here comes even more units. MOKOMI knows how important this gold mine is, and the boiling oil is going to be in 90 seconds, so if GUA can hold for 90 seconds, the GUA making a shitload of horsemen, which is a good call against all these yeomen and crossbows that are going to come out. MOKOMI trying to get out of the goal, but GUA already with patrolling units. He knows the deal. You're not pulling a fast one on GUA there. Exciting little bit of gameplay there. Horseman still kind of on this left side. Oh, big stone walls coming up from MOKOMI. He said, I've had enough of these raids, bro. I've had enough of these raids. You'll raid me no more. Sacred Site timer. It's coming in for GUA. Might be a little fight at this Sacred Site over here. I feel like boiling oil has been coming in for a really long time now. More upgrades coming in for MOKOMI, who definitely needs them, but look at the food now. the food's about even after you thought that GUA was going to take off, but the 2 TC from MOKOMI, this is why he's building this stone wall. He's so tired of these damn horseman raids on the left side, but what have we here? We've got a Clumsy Goldfish live stream of GUA against MOKOMI. This is a get out of my game keep drop by GUA right here. He's saying, I'm going to drop a keep in your face and steal your gold, bro. But where are the villagers? Where are the villagers? I don't see the villagers that are going to drop the keep. They seem to have forgotten their role in life is building. Yeah, GUA doing a classic, infamous GUA split push here. I should say famous, not infamous. Here comes the keep. That's gonna be rough for MOKOMI. GUA doing the split push, but there's the white tower here. There's the Berkshire in the middle. This keep almost certainly going up. There's only 10 villagers on it though. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be really close if you can split these crossbows for shots. Ooh, it's going up though. Oh no! Dude, it didn't go up. Huge horseman raid by GUA on the back. MOKOMI at 118, so let's keep an eye on the villagers. Dude, that keep didn't go up. That's why you always pull like 20 villagers to build keeps right there. I think incendiary arrows are in for the jugs. Yeah, incendiary arrows are really big here. Oh my god, these crossbows are about to get surrounded by these horsemen. Spearmen coming in to help out. I really wouldn't hate to see the yeoman spam by MOKOMI right now. It does look like he's going in some more yeoman here. Remember, the Berkshire is firing off here, so you can see it's kind of doing pitiful damage against the elite horsemen. MOKOMI is playing really well here. I mean, the keep does finally go up here. I feel like GUA was in a really commanding position, but it is, I feel, deadlocked even here, if I had to call it. I wonder if GUA maybe just not enough unit producers in the base with how much res he has. He's got, you know, several stables, several ranges. Probably just needs some more unit producers. You can see his army isn't remaxing. There's a lot of guys in queue. Maybe just needs some more producers there. And the elite yeoman coming in. Culverin out for MOKOMI, so this keep is not going to live long term. GUA trying to push him off that gold. That's kind of MOKOMI's lifeline to this gold. He's really going to need the gold. Had to send a quick text there. So, real tight game still. Tide Barn's just now coming in for GUA on 2 relics. So, it's going to get a little res from that. But if you look at their actual res, they're pretty tight. And it's kind of crazy because MOKOMI's up so many vills. But he's still missing a few of these economic techs, which would help him out. So, this gold, huge. He's sent 30 villagers out to this gold to get all his upgrades. I think GUA recognizes how important that is. Yeah, he's coming with the bombard as well. Yeah, it's going to be tough to push under here with the boiling oil. You can see bringing these spearmen down. He was trying to snipe that cannon, which would have been a big snipe here. So big fights around the keeps. If he could get the sink shot, that would be massive. You can see GUA's got all of his blacksmith upgrades. MOKOMI still needs a couple. So, it sounds silly, but blacksmith upgrades at this point in the game, really quite a big deal still. Culverin gets sniped, actually, by GUA's being a menace with these horsemen. Horsemen do have their biology upgrade in. And I think GUA's just kind of beating them on upgrades right now, which is why MOKOMI wanted this gold so bad. He's got biology and incendiary arrow. So your troops with those upgrades are just better than any troops that your opponent can make. So he's really going with a lot of Jugnu too, which is interesting. This almost certainly going down if MOKOMI can't get up here, and the Horsemen kind of giving him a hell of a time. Horsemen actually with a lot more HP than these Spearmen or these Elite Hobblers. I think even if MOKOMI loses this gold, I think still a very good chance here to win this game. It looks rough right now. He's in a bad spot. But he's still got 125 villagers and a crap ton of food. He needs more spears against this horseman spam. Just more and more spears. Another keep from GUA. Give you more keeps. MOKOMI gonna go for the burn. This keeps for sure going up though. I could see MOKOMI calling it. He's got to pull these villagers back. Ooh, this boiling oil. This is going to be a big hit right here. That boiling oil would have gotten a massive hit. MOKOMI just lost a lot of villagers there, unfortunately. He's been playing really well, but I think he just lost about 30 villagers. And he might have pulled that simply because he's out of wood. He's got to go to this far back wood line back here. And I think, honestly, if he could regroup a bit behind this White Tower or Berkshire, that would be ideal. He just can't get his unit mass back up. The GUA does have... And that game gets called. So not surprising there. GUA kind of controlling the map with keeps there. Was going to be able to get sacred sites most likely. And GUA going to take game one in this rematch. This time, though, playing in the grand finals, GUA getting the W. GUA up 1-0. Since there's 7 games, probably, I'm keeping tabs, but super close game. GG's to both players there. I thought they both played pretty well. Yep, first game, Felisberto, first game. We got a GUA win first game, and you know, I really thought, obviously China is China. They're going to gather more resources than you in a long game. But with how the economy, MOKOMI was scaling this economy, I really thought there was a chance there. He just couldn't get those mid golds. And at the end of the day, in these late games, if you can't get the big golds in the middle of the maps, the chance of you winning the game is really pretty slim. Because even if you have the elite upgrades, if your opponent has the post-imp upgrades, like these university upgrades, and you don't, it's really hard to fight into that. Really tough. And GUA was starting to make hand cannoneers there. You can kind of see in the KD, that's really probably what the game was, right? Let's see if these fellows have a draft up for game 2. Or if they've already done a draft. So, granted here, I don't know what the map is yet. I don't have that kind of insider information. But this is the draft for game 2. So again, we don't know what map it is. MOKOMI lost that first game, so he gets to pick the map for this game 2. And we can see MOKOMI picked Order of the Dragon in English. GUA picked Rus Jeanne d'Arc. GUA actually sniped out English and wanted MOKOMI to play Order of the Dragon, which is really interesting. And then MOKOMI sniping out Jeanne d'Arc, wanting GUA to play Rus. So also very interesting to me. It's always really interesting to see like what other players prioritize as civs that are going to be good against what they're playing on, or playing as, or map dependent. But most of these are land maps, so nothing too crazy. Because I would have said that I'd rather have Order of the Dragon and Rus as my civs. I'd rather play against English or Jeanne d'Arc here, I think. So, just interesting. Everybody has different play styles and what they think is going to be good in certain maps. I'm going to go ahead and put the score in the chat so anybody who joins knows what's up. Phyllis Berto, man, I thought I was gonna be casting you in this stream. I thought you had GUA. Those were good games, though. So we know we've got an Order of the Dragon versus Rus game. Certainly not a matchup I've played a lot. So we've got Game 2 here in GUA's USA Cup. GUA currently up 1-0 in a best-of-7 series. And we've got Pigeon's View. We've got Rus against Order of the Dragon. Pigeon's View is basically just a suited up map of High View. So it's got a lot of self-forced. Funny enough, I've never, a lot of players like pick Pigeon's View. They like playing it in their draft. I don't know why. I've always kind of hated Pigeon's View. Just playing it, I think because of the stealth forest. Which seems like it would be good for me because I like raiding, but yeah, never been my thing. I think I have a hard time getting sheep on this map is probably why. Here we go. Let's reintroduce the players here. So, fighting out of the purple corner, we've got Give You Anxiety, also known as GUA. Fighting out of the orange corner, we've got MOKOMI, also known as MOKOMI. I like what MOKOMI's doing here. I like this a lot. So, you see Order of the Dragon do this a lot. And I've started doing this a lot as just civilizations in general. Doesn't really matter what civilization I'm playing. To be honest, if I can get deer in Dark Age that's pretty close to my town center, I'm doing it. I mean, that's just how I've been playing these days. Like, as long as there's not going to be some sort of Dark Age battle immediately, I've been just going for the deer. And so this gives MOKOMI a lot of potential opportunities to... There's a lot of food out here, right? The more food that MOKOMI actually going for survival techniques too in Dark Age. Hell yeah. So he's trying to... Oh, he canceled it. He canceled it. I probably wouldn't do it in Dark Age because normally the thought process is if you're going to eat both deers, you get it. If you're not, you don't. But he decides to cancel it, but definitely thought about it. But all the food that you're gaining out here you're keeping secure food under your town center. He actually has one gilded villager here, but I think he's got 10 sheep. So he's already got 2,000 food, safe food under his town center. So he can come out here. Roos probably going to be a while until Roos actually has units up, right? He might even finish all these deer, or at least get close, each deer being 350 food and faster gather rate. So MOKOMI in a great position here, getting these deer early. Gonna give him a good position where he can either go, straight into a castle, or he can, make some units because he's gonna have extra food. He's gonna go for the stone. Be interesting to see what he does there. And GUA going out for another hunting cabin, I would think. Yes, another hunting cabin. He actually did not do the... Some Roos players do the immediate double hunting cabin opening. He just goes one here, and then it's going to get the second up. So, I don't think he's made any additional scouts. I think GUA's just got the one scout here. And GUA just done a circle around the map. Let's check out MOKOMI's scouting pattern. MOKOMI's scouting pattern actually really different. It's more like a zigzag here. And Golden Gate coming up for Roos, which is really pretty common. Everybody goes to Roos these days. Or sorry, everybody goes Golden Gate these days. Which I actually still like the Kremlin if I can secure some good resources with it. Golden Gate definitely being the better landmark, but if you had your deer like here or something, you could just drop a Kremlin, then you'd have, a lot of resources all in the same spot. Where are the rest of these deer? It's very odd that I only see 2 deer there. Very odd. Aachen Chapel coming up for Order of the Dragon on the wood line. It's not exactly on the wood line, but I think that's because he's trying to get most likely his sheep in, which he's brought to this side of the chapel, and his gold mine in. So probably going to be a really good Aachen Chapel radius here. And now just good to kind of see how these players are going to want to play it, right? Feudal, Pro Scouts, Fast Castle. Always interesting to see how each player plays it. Significant stone from MOKOMI, so, clearly kind of signaling he's thinking 2 town center here. Which is actually a really interesting play. Killed all the deer, I assume, so... Do you guys see that wooden fortress square? Is this the forbidden wooden fortress? I think this is the forbidden wooden fortress. I had to get a screenshot of that. That had like a really weird pink square under it. So, GUA doesn't really look like he's going... He does drop a stable. So maybe he's just going knights. He only has 1 scout, so you wouldn't think he's going pro scout, but I guess he could. He scouts the second TC out. What's really going to be interesting from MOKOMI here is, does MOKOMI make any units in feudal? Or does he just like throw up some walls and towers and goes fast castle behind this second TC into a Burgrave? Or does he build units in feudal and just play in feudal for a bit? So this is a really interesting play. This is actually why I don't, I like playing really aggressive so that I don't get hit by stuff like this. Ideally I always want to have units out, but everybody's got their different style of play, so... He's still in this deer though, so I assume GUA is going to pressure this deer, right? Gonna get the horsemen over there and at a minimum, get him to stop collecting what deer's left here, but there's probably not a whole lot of deer left. A few hundred food. Actually, maybe about 7, anywhere from 7, 800, 900. So, still going to be pretty good to push MOKOMI off of this. These gilded villagers, not easy to kill, though. Could almost just pull the shivs on that horseman, but he will run away. The horseman, he's going to get the kill if GUA wants to commit to it. Not actually a lot of villagers to garrison here, too, so the horseman's going to get out. Pretty wild. It's the unfortunate circumstance of not having wheelbarrow in your life. If you have wheelbarrow in your life, that villager makes it out. Farm's coming down from MOKOMI. I mean, he's got a shitload of sheep here. I think maybe he's just building some farms. I sometimes do this as well, just to preserve the life of my sheep. If I want my sheep to last really long, I'll throw down like just a few farms so that I have a little something. And later, when my sheep run out, I'm not just totally screwed because I have no farms. Let's see what GUA is up to. Taking down the mill. He's moving out with 8 villagers, which normally kind of signals excuse me, a boar play. So MOKOMI does look like he's just going to play some feudal here. He's just going to get his upgrades. He's got a stable up. He's got a range coming next. I mean, the longer this plays, the better it is for MOKOMI, right? I mean, MOKOMI's got all the time in the world. He's on 2 town center Order of the Dragon. So GUA is the one who's on the clock here. If GUA doesn't punish this, it's going to come back to bite him at some point in the game here. Some walls going up. I love that. Actually, I love the back walls. Just protect this wood line like I would do another wall right here. These short walls are very good at protecting your wood line against all units except Mangadai from Clumsy Goldfish. So he does get the boar, which is really strong. What is it, 2,000 or 2,200? 2,400, actually. So he's on deer, and boar. So, you know, GUA's food income's 269 right now. But that food income is almost definitely about to go over 1,000, I think. Either way, that food income's going to really start skyrocketing. He's already got his, I think it's survival techniques, which increases the hunt income. Here comes some Order of the Dragon horsemen, though, and these things are scary. I kind of think about Order of the Dragon horsemen as, you know, knights without melee armor. Like, they're just really powerful. They can kill villagers really quickly. So the scout's slowing them down, but without the scout, they're just as fast as normal horsemen. So for raiding, obviously you need the scout and the stealth forest. But you can just run around in a circle with these guys. And high trade house is coming down for GUA now. Like I said, the food from the boar and double deer here is through the roof for GUA right now. I feel like GUA is doing a great job with these hunting cabins for sure. It's kind of a shit spot for the high trade house, but if you're going to focus on gathering the deer from the high trade house, it's, you know, probably good in that way because the deer will probably be near your town center range. So MOKOMI's still building units. You know, he's gotten some of his economic upgrades here. GUA getting textiles, which I actually love. Love the textiles. And MOKOMI just printing over here, so he's got an 8 villager lead right now as Order of the Dragon. A lot of farms. I will be honest, I'm not hating on MOKOMI's style here. I'm really confused by how many farms he has with all these sheep that are still here. Like, he's a better player than I am. He's probably got it figured out. But I am interested. I'd be interested to pick his brain about how many farms are getting thrown down right now. Because it does put behind your age up. Like, a few probably fine. That's a lot of farms, dude. He's getting good raids with the... I mean, this is kind of an economic steamroll, I think, by MOKOMI right now is the problem. And spears cannot catch these. Spears can't catch knights. Spears sure as hell can't catch gilded horsemen. So, you know, I've had this problem before. You've got to get walls and wooden outposts. Because MOKOMI are going to run circles out here. It ain't much, but it's honest work. It is, dude. It is. There's a lot of honest work happening on these farms and mad respect, dude. He's got a farming complex right here. I mean, he's set for the rest of the game. I mean, that's the nice thing about having the farms up, right? Like, MOKOMI is set. He doesn't need to do a farm transition. He's literally gone 2TC farm transition. And honestly, MOKOMI looks super commanding in this position right now. So, Monastery is up for GUA. He does have a warrior monk out, so, you know, something GUA could possibly hang his hat on here is if he's able to really get up and get these relics in. These gilded archers are going to struggle here just because spear horseman does really well here, but there are still a lot of gilded horsemen, so horse archers starting to come in from GUA. He's trying to just work down the spears best he can with the archers, but it's hard with the horsemen there as well, right? Men-at-Arms upgrade coming in. Steeled Arrow coming in for MOKOMI. Both fantastic upgrades. And yeah, you just want that. This Burgrave is so good. Look at how cheap a Gilded Men-at-Arms is. You just want these Gilded Men-at-Arms getting produced out of the Burgrave at all times. And hopefully, you know, keep making horsemen archers, because the Rus horse archers are coming out. What's really, really interesting about GUA going into horse archers here is MOKOMI already has the perfect counter against horse archers. So, you know, Gilded Horsemen are great against Rus horse archers, as are Gilded Archers. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And once this boar and deer dry out for GUA, things have been really good right now, right? With GUA's food economy. Once these dry out, he might be in a little trouble. He's floating in a ton of food. The only reason you'd float that much food is if you're going Imperial, but I don't really understand the Imperial play if that's what's happening. Again, better player than me. I'd love to pick his brain about it, but you know, you could drop the Spotskaya somewhere, I guess. No, he is building some more units now, but just a lot of food in the bank. MOKOMI getting some much needed upgrades. Dude, when that horticulture comes in, his farming economy is going to be looking a lot better. Nice snipe on the relic out here, dude. Good find. So GUA has gotten 4 relics, which is really good, right? So that's going to do a little bit to mitigate this giant economic lead from MOKOMI. And remember, these are not your average villagers. Does this look like an average villager to you? Does it? Because this is a gilded villager. Those are strong villagers, man. Yeah, GUA going in. I'm surprised by the play. I really am. And the farming eco is crazy over here. I'd love to see some more walls from MOKOMI, to be honest, just to protect these farms. Like, I would hate to get this raided, or get some Springle Towers or something, but some Palisade walls. I'm a big waller. That would be solid against GUA, who likes raiding a lot. Score right now is GUA's up 1-0 in a best-of-7 series. I wasn't paying attention. Did GUA reinvest all that food? Did he not throw down an Imperial landmark? Yeah, he reinvested it and just threw down a second town center. He's going to have to do a lot of raiding this game. Like, a lot of raiding, because MOKOMI has a bastion over here. Yeah, these palisade... I love these palisade walls, man. You have to get these walls up with your eco looking like this. Wall all around. You don't want Ruse horse archers sneaking in there. I just think this game looks really good for MOKOMI. Like, really good. GUA hasn't... In non-GUA fashion, because I feel like anytime I've played GUA, he's like constantly pressuring you, right? From multiple angles. He hasn't been doing that at all. And MOKOMI's just booming, man. Like, MOKOMI's chilling right now. MOKOMI can do this all day. GUA going into second TC, but no farms to really sustain that. You know, he knows he's probably behind economically. And this is... Honestly, I think MOKOMI should just death push right now. He's got his range, defense, and range. Ooh, GUA does not have undermesh or steeled arrow. He's just now getting them. But MOKOMI has both of these. If you see this, if you're MOKOMI, you kind of know it's the time to push, because the Gilded Archers are actually going to do decent against the Horsemen if they don't have their ranged armors up. And this classic GUA right here. GUA is going to get villager kills. If you play against GUA, you need to build walls. You need walls, man. You need walls, and you need a stationary force in your base to defend against this kind of raid. Like, no joke. Just keep some spearmen at home. Yeah, MOKOMI with the push, and I'm not sure that GUA can stop this. He is building a Mangonel now. He's kind of gearing up for the big defense here. And the Wololo defense. What you got to do if you're doing a Wololo defense here is get your 3 relics with 3 warrior monks in the town center and 5 villagers. Get engaged in a fight, pop them out, do a triple Wololo. He's going to Wololo. Here comes the Wololo attempt. Oh my god. That was scary. I actually thought that might go off for a second. I wasn't sure MOKOMI was going to side. Mangonel from the top rope. Absolute miss from the Mangonel on the top rope. How do Mangonels miss that bad these days? That's what I really wonder. GUA actually doing a pretty good job of holding here. A little bit of micro issues. The unit's not able to shoot what they would like to shoot. And GUA's holding for now. Where's GUA getting his food? Oh, he's on berries, but the berries are running out. I think if MOKOMI just keeps spamming, he can take this. The food's out for GUA. Another Mangonel coming out. Another shot from the top rope. Another Wololo defense. And GUA holding, as GUA does, man. I always say every time I watch GUA, he is one of the most resilient players I've ever watched. He is going to hold his base no matter the cost, but he's going to keep playing. But MOKOMI just on a shitload of food, man. And 34 villagers ahead in a game where he's playing Order of the Dragon. Dude, I would love to see him mix in some Gilded Lance Connect. He doesn't have the gold for it. But some Gilded Lance Connect against this man-at-arm horseman front would be sick. GUA's now hit rock bottom on food. He's going to have to farm transition. And he built a 3rd town center. He doesn't have any food. I mean, to be fair, he needs the 3rd town center to come back. He either has to, right now, he either has to get a death push into MOKOMI's base and kill him, or he's got to do some crazy boom on the backside to get back into this game. But 3rd town center is going to be rough right now. Trying to do some raids, so like, good, you know, trying to get back in the game with some raids. It's a nice little GUA raid, which I like. Walls coming up. Love walls. Oh, that upgrade's really good. Scale armor for gilded archers. More villager kills while he's trying to get that wall up. That's just really unfortunate, man. I feel like that happens to me every time I go to build walls as I lose all my villagers. That's why I just play Mongols, so I don't even have to build them. So pushing the raid off here, just running away with the horsemen. Yeah, more villagers walling up here. The Rus Palisade wall is really good. You know, if GUA gets enough siege up, he could also defend really effectively with relics around siege, and then siege to bring down the range mass of MOKOMI. That's a big wall, though. Because, yeah, GUA has a lot of wood and gold. And always if I have a lot of wood and gold, I just spam siege. Like, he's going to have to build some farms here. He's finally throwing some up. But mangoes are going to be the key here. If they pick off that crossbow row, then... But look at MOKOMI's food income, dude. And relentless with the raids this game. MOKOMI with 30 villager kills this game. MOKOMI lost game 1. And GUA raided him. And he's like, you know what? How about I give you some raids? How do you like these raids? He's lost 1 villager and killed 30. The economy counts like almost even. If MOKOMI hasn't been getting these raids in. MOKOMI's just gonna go imp, dude. You know what would be sick if he just L's back dropped GUA's base. I would love to see. He's probably just gonna go Swabby or something. I would love to see an L's back drop on one of these golds, or just straight in GUA's base. But if he hits imp and gets his upgrades, the game is over. I mean, oh, dude, the mangoes, the mangoes, the mangoes! No! No! 4 mangonels. And more raids on the back berries. That was 2,400 resources in siege going down in the blink. I mean, that was everything you would use to kill this backline. Ooh, that was tough, man. I've mismicroed my mangonels like that before. You mismicro your mangonels like that, you're gonna have a bad time. Elsbach coming down. I honestly, MOKOMI needs to get these imp upgrades and push, man. You cannot give GUA... I think MOKOMI's already given GUA too much time. I think MOKOMI could have killed him. Now GUA's on 3 TC. He's gotten farms up. He's going to defend. You got to kill this guy, man. Maybe he's going to go bombard behind it. But you got to get your upgrades in and put GUA out of the game. You don't want GUA in a long game. The guy's good at late game. But once these elite upgrades come through, it's going to be nice. It's going to be really nice. MOKOMI with just an astronomical amount of food. GUA, he's going to go in. If he drops the spot sky up in his base, dude, MOKOMI better not let him get a spot sky up. Nice raid here by GUA. And decapping the site. Honestly, the sites are also an issue here if MOKOMI got a keep up here. Like, Sacred Site victory would be a very real possibility, but MOKOMI's just like, yeah, I'm just going to go kill your base. He doesn't have all of his upgrades yet, but he does have elite gilded men-at-arms. Relic defense going to come out here for GUA. Couldn't quite protect him, being the biggest. And the siege just, yeah. That's really unfortunate for GUA right there to lose that siege. Just didn't have anything to protect it. Where are the spearmen? Spearmen coming back. They must have gone to decap the site. Really unfortunate timing. Good timing by MOKOMI to get in here while they were gone. Really unfortunate for GUA. Some horsemen going to hit the backside. Spotskaya Towers coming up at the front of the base. If MOKOMI sees this, he can deny it. Oh yeah, he sees it. He sees it. 29 villagers going to build the Spotskaya Tower. 41 villagers. How many will survive, though? This might not even go up, dude. If MOKOMI can micro these units out on this Spotskaya, this is a GG play right here. I think MOKOMI's got the game. Too many villagers lost. It's not going to go up. And game gets called. So game 1 was really, really back and forth. Tough game. Both players playing really well. GUA with the win. And this game, I think MOKOMI had this game the entire time, to be honest with you. I think like both players, you know, GUA still gave it a go with the multiple town centers to try to catch up. But GUA went early deer, fast 2TC. He just boomed. I mean, 2TC with Order of the Dragon is a boom, right? So you've either got to go fast castle, punish it, or do some sort of feudal play to push. But MOKOMI playing a clean game there. GG's to both players. And we're going to get on to game 3. So now we're 1-1. I'm going to get score in the chat here. Yeah, just look at this timeline for MOKOMI. Great raids. And just non-stop villager production. I mean, I think we looked at that and he lost like 1 villager or something like that entire game. And if Order of the Dragon, I don't really care what civilization you are. If Order of the Dragon has more villagers than you, you're going to have a bad time. That's very difficult to deal with if they get more villagers. Yeah, baby. That Order of the Dragon 2TC. Dude, anytime I see Order of the Dragon dropping a second town center, I'm going all in feudal age. I don't care win or lose. I'm taking everything I've got, dude. All my units, rams, villagers. I'm sending everything. I'm going feudal all in if they're going 2TC. Because yeah, man, it's tough. You let that 2TC crank, and their economy is just crazy. Food gathered, look at that. Farms under that chapel? Sheesh. Let's see if these guys are doing their next draft. RTS Papercut, I'm honored, man. I'm honored that you're in the live chat. Is MOKOMI a great Abbasid player? I didn't actually know that, but that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Abbasid's like my least played civ of all time. So not sure what map it is for this game 3. But this is the civ draft forward. So GUA would have picked the map because he lost that game. Series tied 1-1. Yeah, MOKOMI played that real safe. You know, the interesting thing, though, is, you know, farm transition's tricky because if you let your opponent go 2 town center farm transition, you're going to lose. So, obviously, it's always more difficult to discern that and know what to do in game. You know, I'm spectating, not playing. But yeah, if I see a guy's going 2TC farm transition, I gotta punish that, right? So I think GUA did the right thing going on the deer and boar, but like I'm shocked he didn't push that because that's it would be very GUA like for GUA to feudal push in that situation. Ooh, we're gonna have a Byzantine on Ayyubid. Yeah, I think the strat was weird too, and you always want to be flexible within your games. Like you don't want to get hard stuck in a I have to go castle or I have to do this because then sometimes people can pick the counterplay. But yeah, you also need a little kind of like you're saying, paper cut. You also need a little commitment to a strategy, right? Like if you try to do a little bit of everything, you sometimes just kind of end up getting your ass kicked because like you haven't committed and you're not implementing like a strategy. You're just kind of milling about building some units. I mean, with how heavy MOKOMI went into farms, like I really do feel that. I mean, like Roos can get a lot of feudal archers out. You go knight archer. You mix in some spears as well. Like I mean, you can do a push on that second TC. It was out in the front. It does have E repairs, but still, it's out in the front. You know, MOKOMI wouldn't have been able to get food on the map. That kind of stuff. Yeah, I feel like most players would say you just go Roos fast castle in that situation. Like players better than me, I feel like would say you go Roos fast castle, you pick up the relics, then you just kill him because he went 2 town center. Like fast castle is generally just better than 2 town center. Like you can do fast castle relics than a timing push. But yeah, like my personal play style, I'd just go feudal all in and bring down the second. At a minimum, bring down the second town center, kill a bunch of vills, that kind of thing. I feel like any civ with feudal knights is really strong in feudal. You don't really have anything to deal with feudal knights other than spearmen, and of course they make archers and kill all your spearmen. So yeah, I've played this matchup a few times before. I mean, I like Ayyubid as a civilization. I'm not very good with them, but I do like them. And of course, I think Byzantine just a really good civilization in general. I'm really interested to see what map this is, and that GUA sniped HRE instead of Byzantine. Yeah, I also think Biz should win this. I mean, dude, Biz is such a good civilization. Like I feel like, and you beat me bad when you played when we played that series and you played Byzantine paper cut with the Hippodrome. I feel like anytime I play a game against Byzantine, if they make it to Castle Age, I'm like, I lost. if Byzantine makes it to Castle Age, I was actually House of Lancaster. I thought I was gonna get you pretty good, but I knew you were gonna play Byzantine on Lipany, and I was like, all right, I'll let him have Byzantine. If I lose, like whatever. But I thought I might be able to deal with it a little bit because of the Varangian guards. But then of course you went Keshik, because Byzantine are weak to men at arms. But of course then you went Keshik, and I was like, I'm kind of fucked. So it was I kind of knew things were bad at that time. And the Triumph is just so good from the Hippodrome. Yeah, they got a. I know I'll get Observer delayed here a little bit. Man, Sass must have. He must have backstage passes, man. GUA's USA Cup Game 3 in a best of 7 series for the grand finals. Fighting out of the purple corner, we've got GUA playing as the Ayyubid on coastal cliffs. And fighting out of the blue corner, we've got MOKOMI playing as Byzantine. The thing that's actually really important to note on this map is that the stone is really far away on this map. And Byzantine almost always wants to go on this stone early, so I don't know if MOKOMI knew this. I'm sure he did. But the stone is really far away. It's a long walk here. Still on web. Thanks for letting me know, brother. So, yeah, the stone, real far away on coastal cliffs from the town center. Of course, all this deep sea fish is just a tease. You can't actually build docks out here. If your villager did try to get down from the cliff, they would likely not return. So kind of classic opening, you know, on the berries for Ayyubid here, and we'll see what GUA goes with. He has split the villagers a bit on the berries, which sometimes indicates that they're going to go eco-wing for more villagers. But first cistern up for MOKOMI, and you'd expect him to build more and more cisterns because, you know, Ayyubid's not going to Dark Age rush you or anything, so you're really pretty safe getting out here on the stone. And I really haven't watched the interaction between these two civs much, so I am really interested to see how this gameplay goes. This GUA scouting pattern here, bit of a loop. And then MOKOMI's doing the full map circle here before he brings his sheep back. The one thing I've always really liked about berry civs is, you know, normally your scout needs to go out, grab a few sheep, drop them off because your villagers are eating sheep, then finish scouting. With the berry civs, you can scout for as long as you want, right? Because you're out on berries. These berries aren't going to run out for quite a long time. Yeah, we are getting economic growth wing here, and so that's going to give GUA, on completion, 3 villagers. Each of these orchards are going to gain 50 food, so you don't want to eat any of these orchards all the way through, because on the age up, they're going to get 50 additional food. So you want to save each one of these bad boys. He's going to get close on this one for sure. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one. It's already down to 60. A lot of guys on wood here. And I'm just interested if GUA tries to do any kind of feudal shenanigans here with Ayyubid, or if he just goes castle. Because I actually did play this in a tournament one time, and I think I just went fast castle Gulam spam. But with these cisterns up, I mean, the Byzantine economy is going to be cranking. He's got two pretty nice berries here. He's actually got a third one in the back if he walled off, but that's a big wall for now, so that's more of a later in the game situation. Gathering some wood up himself, likely for some unit producers. No idle time on the TC yet. That's what got MOKOMI in the first game. Sometimes that first game you're not as clean as you normally are, if that makes sense. Once you get through the first game, you've got some of the RTS juices flowing in your fingers and playing a lot cleaner now. Grand Winery coming up on the berries. Nothing too surprising about that. He did not eat through the berry bush, so good little micro play by GUA. Keep all the berries alive. They all get plus 50 food and the extra 3 villagers from the landmark. So, what's really interesting and how I've been playing Ayyubid, which is probably not how anybody else plays Ayyubid, is I actually like doing the dervish and feudal, which I do see people do that. Because if I make units in feudal, the dervish is super strong with units in feudal. You can have a really good feudal push, or you can defend yourself really effectively for a castle age. And then when I go castle age, I've actually been going industry wing. You get like 400 stone and like 1,000 wood. And it gives you a lot of latitude on what you can do. I mean, you can build a second town center, you can throw down farms, you can do, you know, double mosque with unit producers, and then, you know, placements for your towers. It's like 1,400 resources straight off the bat, so you can't do that after you got the 3 villagers. But that's what I've liked recently, is the dervish feudal and then the industry wing castle, now that I played these guys a lot. So GUA is going to stream out units to attack MOKOMI. I'm a little surprised MOKOMI doesn't have the units out quite yet. But I do think, I mean, I could see Ayyubid going either way here, but I also really understand not wanting to let Byzantine get to castle easily. So a little pressure by GUA makes a lot of sense. He's continuing to make units. That is where the dervishes would be really nice, just to heal up the units that get hurt in these skirmishes. They're very strong early, especially when they're not units to snipe. Horseman's gonna go for the reinforcements out here, which is the right play by MOKOMI, right? You don't have enough units to fight this, so you just try to deal damage and pick off reinforcements when you can. I missed what mercenary was coming in. Longbows are coming in for MOKOMI, which is just going to be good against everything GUA is making right now. Longbows are just a great overall unit, so it's going to pair really well with the horsemen, of course. Longbows snipe out the spears, horsemen clean up the rest. Nice pickup on some of these reinforcements by MOKOMI. Rushing that tower down pretty fiercely. GUA not going to catch him, but GUA is making a ram. And this is the really nice thing about Ayyubid or Abba, is this ram. Being able to make the ram without the blacksmith. I actually kind of like this play by GUA going feudal against Byzantine. The only thing I really didn't like was that he didn't go dervish. But he's got to get damage like right now. Once these batches of longbows start coming out, you're going to be in trouble. I think he kind of sees that now. So the other thing, which I think would have been also decent, is if he just did a couple units with the early pressure like that to force MOKOMI into units in tower. But he was really just going castle behind it. You know what I mean? Like fake the feudal spam straight into a castle, show up with a bunch of camel lancers that, you know, are going to kill everything MOKOMI has. But we're in a feudal fight for sure right now. Ayyubid's really nothing special in feudal is the problem. He's going to move out to deer here. This is where the dervish would just be so good, man. I'm going to keep talking about that, but all these low health units be healed up. And the best thing is you just keep your dervishes in a different control group. So you keep them away so the longbows can't snipe. But the main thing here is the composition. The unit composition for MOKOMI is better. The unit composition of horseman longbow will beat archer spearman, if microed correctly, right? Like, cavalry archer will always beat spearman archer when microed correctly. Stone Cistern level 4, so didn't go too crazy greedy. On another berry patch back here. I like the wall coming up to protect the berries there. Blacksmith coming down. If he gets Steeled Arrow, that's going to be massive for the longbows. As long as he can keep getting this olive oil in, he's going to be in a good position So when it eventually dries up, that things will be a little tougher. I actually really like fortified outposts on the gold here. I've become increasingly a fan of fortified outposts on gold. Especially if I'm going fast castle. Yeah, MOKOMI going for the rage, probably the right choice just because there's so many enemies on the doorstep. You try to do a counter raid and pull back the opponent's army. Quick wall here on the berries. I think that's actually probably what MOKOMI was going for. If he does go in here, that's going to be dangerous because the spearman can catch you. But he's going to go for the gold. And split just a few off. This is a good micro here. So he goes for the gold. Miners splits a few to the berries, which is... And look, GUA's entire army has to go home. It's the main thing here. So, buys MOKOMI a lot of space. These horsemen are probably dead, but... Honestly, idling out GUA's army for that long, probably pretty good. This is kind of a weird wall. I don't know, is GUA about to wall the whole map? Like, if you're building this wall, I'm assuming that you're just walling the whole map. Otherwise, this wall doesn't do a whole lot. Horsemen's still running around back here, but they are taking a lot of damage. Yeah. He's getting caught a little bit. He's trying to just run GUA around, but he is taking a lot of damage. This is where the walls hurt him. He doesn't know the wall's there, so actually not a bad play by GUA. GUA is really cleaning up these horsemen. He killed a lot of those horsemen. Now that GUA's lost so many horsemen, MOKOMI's lost so many horsemen, GUA can definitely push now with a ram. I mean, Lynette and I are not going to do it either. You got some olive groves coming down. You do have some more berries in the back. I think GUA might be in pretty good spot here. He's also looking to go to castle. Yeah, it kind of was a bit of a throw by MOKOMI, to be honest. Game's definitely not over, but it doesn't look good when you've lost. That was like 10 horsemen, maybe. You gotta be really careful with those raids and not getting trapped. Honestly, if GUA ages up, I would like to see a palisade across the map. You just get sacred sites. Like, back in the day, this map, a lot of people would play Delhi because you would just go feudal sacred sites on this map and win, right? Oh, triple dervish coming in for logistics. See, I've never known how I feel about the age up to castle with dervish. I like the age up to feudal with dervish instead. And then I like getting something more valuable going to castle, whether that's industry wing. I've even done military reinforcement wing. Desert raiders normally aren't bad, but I wouldn't do them in this matchup because of the longbows. So what I normally really like seeing people do, and I know he's saving resources here to make units once he gets to castle age, is you can still just make spearmen and archers right here, right? You've got 1,500 food. It's not like you have 5 stables waiting to make camel lancers. Just make units. Like, you know you're gonna get pushed when you age up, so just make units, secure your age up. Like, you don't have to spend gold. You'll still have enough time for your veterancies and stuff. But if he had been making archers and spearmen here, this is an easy fight for him. MOKOMI's pushing, though. I mean, Ram's pushing by itself at the bottom. So MOKOMI's going to make a push here. Now GUA is queuing some units, but ideally, if you're going up and you've got this much food, you're making units. I am one of the only people that does that, to be honest. And I know these players are better than me. All the pros are better than me. We all understand that. None of them make units during age up. They just stop making units. And, like, he's got 2,000 food. And not enough unit producers, right? Like, if you had 10 unit producers waiting to make camel lancers, I get why you're saving that much. But he could almost go imp right now, you know? No veterancies coming in. Just Gulam camel lancer. What's up, Jade? Thanks for joining the stream. I feel like GUA, again, no offense to GUA, I feel like he's throwing this position right now. I mean, I think the Camel Lancer Gulam is going to fix his problem. But this is really dangerous right now. He's going to run out of food. Golden Horn Tower's coming up for MOKOMI. If MOKOMI brings these spearmen down, MOKOMI should pull out, actually. If he's going castle right now, you probably want to get back, get your veterancies. Ooh, Dervish, sneaky Dervish. Another Dervish on this side. So the Dervish are, you know, probably going to get a lot of the relics. Exactly, Favor Cut. Save the longbows, dude. You do not want to lose this longbow master. This is not worth losing your entire army, right? Oh, dude, he is going to get some build kills, but the Manjaniques are coming. GUA, I mean, GUA is in a bad spot, man. He's got no food. Yeah, no food, no gold. This is another reason. You remember in the game you and I played Paper Cut? I feel like you were kicking my ass that game, but one of the reasons I go Industry Wing with Ayyubid is so that I can build farms around the town center. And literally everybody I know hates that I do that. Everybody says that's a bad strategy. But it's only a bad strategy when you have food. And right now, GUA has 0 food. So, like, I always build the farms with Industry Wing because at least if I get pushed off after my age up, I have food and I'm not just going to die. Longbows are veterancy now. The Fire Mangonel is out, but in small numbers, they're not really that good. It gets picked as well, and the Dervish gets picked. Longbows are going to focus down everything in this army. I'm not sure where the Camel Lancers are. The Camel Lancers have got to get here. There's a decent mango shot, but the longbow is really killing a lot of units here. And the second Manjanique gets picked off. Camel Lancers are coming in now. Just keep in mind, though, the Camel Lancers do not have ranged defense up. So longbows are going to be able to bring these Camel Lancers and most likely Gulams down. Not particularly effectively, but here come 2 Cataphracts. Those deal with your Gulams while you bring down the Camel Lancers. Yeah, Ayyubid does feel like that, but the food runs out like as soon as you hit Castle Age. So it's kind of tough. The ranged defense in this game is huge. GUA just getting the ranged defense in, it's not in yet. Like, if he has ranged defense, dude, those Gulams just got massacred. There's also times where I've gone up, and yeah, game gets called by GUA there. He realizes the mass MOKOMI has here, and to be honest, a lot of the time, when Byzantine hits Castle Age, and I haven't been able to punish their Castle Age, I also think it's pretty much just time to call the game. So there were definitely some points in that game I thought GUA had it. I mean, before he went castle about right here, I thought he was just going to be able to break MOKOMI's base because he had a ram and pretty superior military. I'm not sure why I just switched my screen. But then MOKOMI with the push, man. And GUA just, unfortunately for GUA, just lost everything in that fight. The longbows were just teeing off on units. So some things and I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, some things I also played around with Ayyubid was going up with Master Smiths. Like during the age up, obviously you want a blacksmith to have already researched while you're aging up steel arrow and iron undermesh. And then when you hit that age up, Master Smith comes in, you get all those blacksmith upgrades. Like that's also really nice because your Gulams and Camel Lancers in that situation can't get killed by. I mean, that was the deciding factor for sure. Is that the longbows at that point were able to kill Gulams and Camel Lancers, which is tough. Like your Gulams and Camel Lancers should be killing those. Yeah, Master Smith for sure. Like, gotta get the blacksmith down in the and at least the iron undermesh and during the age up, and then Master Smith's is sick. But I also feel like I don't know. Ayyubid's a hard one to figure out because you can play it so many different ways. But that's also why I like the dervish and feudal instead of growth. Because the dervish plays well with the feudal push he did, right? Dervish would have been really good on his feudal push. And then he could have gone industry or master smiths into castle. And that would have been like really good with his timing either way. But MOKOMI does take it. I think MOKOMI played a mostly clean game. There's really only one mistake when he lost some horsemen when he was raiding. But other than that, like cisterns got up, walls got up, 3 berry packs eaten, longbows spammed, longbow horseman combination worked fantastic. Hit castle, got the cataphracts going, and that was a wrap by MOKOMI. So GG's to both players. MOKOMI taking this one. And now MOKOMI up 2-1. So MOKOMI beginning to heat up here, winning 2 games in a row. Let's see if they're doing a civ draft here. I'm going to switch to the civ draft. I'm going to take a 60 to 90 second break while y'all watch this civ draft. And then I'll be right back and we'll get game 4 going. What's up, Conquerors? We are back. Gonna take a look at the draft and then get in the game. Gonna type the score here for people who are joining a bit later. It's 2-1 MOKOMI right now. On a 2-game win streak. Looks like these guys are already in game, so I'm gonna skip the draft a little bit and get to the game. What's up, Conquerors? We've got Game 4 of GUA's USA Cup Grand Finals. GUA, the man himself, against MOKOMI. We've got a matchup on EGC Lipany. Fighting out of the blue corner, we've got MOKOMI playing as the Holy Roman Empire. Fighting out of the purple corner, we've got Give You Anxiety, aka GUA, playing as the Japanese. Well, we've got an early outpost coming up for GUA. Maybe anticipating a Dark Age rush from MOKOMI that is not coming. He's going to eventually need the tower on the gold anyway, so that's probably the thought process, right? Like, I'll go ahead and build a tower. If he Dark Age rushes, I have the tower. If not, I need the tower anyways. So, MOKOMI just kind of going for his normal feudal here. You can see the scouting pattern of MOKOMI. Also going to GUA's base, probably seeing if GUA's doing a Dark Age rush. Both these civs, really pretty potent Dark Age rush civs, which is why I like playing both of the civilizations. And GUA doing the old loop around the map. I've noticed GUA really likes these very large loops around the map for his scouting patterns. Scouts that MOKOMI is not going Dark Age rush. Probably thinking, well, I have the tower when I need it later anyways. It's actually a bit of an interesting tower position. It's a little bit behind where the villagers would be, but it is nicely out in this front area, so it will protect the wood a little bit as well as the gold mine. Only tricky thing going to be if MOKOMI gets archers later. I think an archer could shoot right from outside this radius, but GUA might get some arrow slits there. So MOKOMI going with the Aachen Chapel. I'm really interested to see how MOKOMI plays this HRE because he got a W with Order of the Dragon, the brother civilization, earlier in Game 2. A little bit micro from the prelate to get these gold villagers inspired after he was over here. GUA has not got... This is actually really interesting. So GUA has not gotten the berry upgrade, but he is eating his berries, which generally indicates that, whether he does this, I do not know, but generally if you're getting the berries early, you're trying to save your sheep a bit so that you can go castle. But it is curious he didn't get the upgrade. A lot of the time what I do when I play them, I'm not saying this is wrong or right, just a difference, is I'll put my guys on sheep, but I'll send one to build the house, and then I'll get the berry upgrade. And when the berry upgrade's finished, I move everybody onto the berries. Then I eat all these berries, go back to my sheep, and then it's pretty easy transition to castle if that's what he's trying to do. The Aachen Chapel going to come in, so pretty good location, really. It doesn't get the gold, but it gets the sheep, the berries, and the wood line, so a pretty strong location here. You've got, what, 15, possibly 16 villagers right now within this Aachen Chapel radius? Pretty damn good, if you ask me. pretty close by deer out here as well. If I'm looking at the players and their bases, for MOKOMI at least, I'd really be thinking this right side of the map is what I'm going to need to secure expansion-wise. Berries, gold, stone, and deer on this right side over here. GUA's resources a bit more dispersed, I would say. Not really a close second gold for GUA, interestingly enough. I mean, this second gold for GUA is really far away. His third gold is a mile away. So that's probably something to keep in mind as the game progresses, is where GUA's resources are. Pretty much all the food's out in front. The gold's pretty far. I'd say GUA has a bad spawn. And the first farm spawned as far away as it could have from the town center. That's rich. So GUA not going into any unit producers. It looks like it's pretty clear that GUA looks like he's going to try to go castle. MOKOMI going into some units. MOKOMI also grabbing some eco upgrades here. I'm not sure. I don't know if GUA really has the... This will be interesting to see how this pans out, right? I'm worried that archers can just stand right here and shoot GUA's villagers. I'm not sure that this tower is positioned correctly enough. Hell yeah, Mark. Welcome to being a con. Thanks for becoming a member, bro. And thanks for joining the live stream. Appreciate you. So this is exactly what I was worried about. So GUA can pull, just delete your outpost if you're MOKOMI. Just delete and then rebuild it. Don't try to get it up. I mean, he's going to be able to rebuild it anyways here, but GUA's in a terrible spot here. MOKOMI can 100%. You just walk your villager away, and then you come back and you drop the outpost down again. Yeah, he finally got arrow slits. It's not quite enough to hit this villager, though. He's getting tower rushed. And his next gold is literally all the way out here. He's got to switch, and this is not good. MOKOMI has unfortunately lost a few units here. But this tower's going up 100%, and then GUA is going to be out of gold. MOKOMI should go put someone on a patrol route on this gold. Yeah, these units, it's not the cleanest by MOKOMI, but he's still got the right idea, right? Like, he's going to get this tower up. And I love the tower drop on this gold once he realized that GUA was going fast castle. So I think you just garrison some units in here now, right? You got to garrison something, or he's going to pull units to kill this. You can't just leave the tower. I'm talking a little bit of Mongol knowledge here of a lot of Dark Age tower drops. You cannot just leave this tower. The biggest... I mean, MOKOMI's got GUA in a really bad position, though. You're going to go floating gate here, but what are you going to get out of it, right? You're going to have to gather some wood, which MOKOMI can probably... Well, I don't know. Maybe he can't harass there. Maybe I've overstated that. You're going to have to go into Yumi or something. Because you don't have enough gold to go floating gate. You don't have enough units in this tower, though. GUA could burn this tower right now. He is rallying some archers out, but... I wonder if the villager's in there. If he kept the villager in there, that'd be diabolical, because you could always rebuild the tower. But the floating gate's going to come down, so where does the Yoroshiro go? Does it go in the forge for gold? Does he throw down a range and it goes in the archery range? Does he put it in the house for food? Does he put it in the town center? Archery range it is. I think he's got to go archery range, but he's going to have a really hard time even getting food or getting wood here. MOKOMI's kind of living his best life here. Building some farms around the chapel. He's out on deer. He's looking good on his resources. Ram is coming down. Dude, MOKOMI is giving anxiety in this game. I'm honestly just really surprised how GUA played this, though. He never really had enough food for this fast castle. Like, yeah, he's got the farms now, but these sheep are going to be out. He doesn't have gold. I've found that naked fast castle is a bad strategy. Like, you can't just go naked. Yeah, exactly. It is super greedy. Good players are not going to let you do this. You cannot do this. Even without the ram, MOKOMI could literally just make spheres and burn this outpost down. So, one outpost is not enough to defend you from one of the elite players of the game. Like, they're going to find a way to get you off that gold. And, yeah, they're just basic Yumi, right? Like, yeah, 100%. What I started doing when I want to do this, like you said, Paper Cut, one, I make units. Regnant's coming up in the back, dude. And, like, you didn't even really gain much now from the fast castle. The Regnants, he's going to get the relics. He should just pull this prelate out and start and go grab one of these. GUA has yoinked a relic to go back home. Oh, he's running for the gold. He's running for it. MOKOMI just pull back because he's aging up. Honestly, I think that's a mistake, dude. I think MOKOMI's got him. I guess if MOKOMI goes into knights here, dude, a Burgrave would end this game instantly. I mean, you're right. A Burgrave would end this game immediately. And the thing I have learned about the Burgrave, while not as good technically as the Regnants, is if I go Burgrave, I can get every relic on the map, right? Like, I'm going to have such map control and force projection. Like, I'm going to get every relic if I Burgrave. And, yeah, I mean, Burgrave would just annihilate this right now. Hopefully he's got some stables down for some knights. That's what we need out here. It's just Yumi Ashigaru. Iron Undermesh coming in. I feel like MOKOMI played this really well, but, like, kind of missed an opportunity here. I think MOKOMI was going to win this game. He could have gone Burgrave, but he also could have just stayed feudal. So, yeah, it's a great question. If I had been playing MOKOMI, all I really want to do here is just starve GUA of resources. I don't really have to... I don't even have to build a ram, really, right? I block this gold with my tower. I block this gold with patrolled units. And I, keep rotating units from gold to wood to gold. And I just keep them off resources. Like, he could have starved GUA out. A little bit of counterattack by Yumi, but they are very fast. But, like, this is GUA's one wood line. He can't use this wood line. So you starve a gold, wood line, gold, the game's over. It doesn't matter if he gets berries or whatever. The game's just over. If you can't get wood, if he had cut off his wood, the game would literally just GG. There's nothing you can do. Yeah, I think MOKOMI would have just won this if he had stayed feudal. To be honest. I mean, like Paper Cut said, Burgrave would have worked as well. But, like, if you just stay feudal here, and you could have just made Archer Spear like he was doing. But GUA's back in this now. I mean, Mounted Samurai are coming out. Big Onimusha number to deal with the HRE Knights. GUA's 100% in the game. So, it was a good job. I always try to talk in reverse. Like, it was a good push by MOKOMI, but it's also a nice job by GUA to kind of minimize the losses he had and stay in the game. GUA getting out to this gold's huge. I mean, absolutely huge. Deer here from MOKOMI, deer here from MOKOMI. 3-2 relic game on Regnants is pretty good for MOKOMI, but here come the raids, man. GUA famous for these raids. And the Mounted Samurai are just going to be so difficult to deal with, man. So I actually like mine work with HRE because you get this Knight upgrade for +2 armor. Sacred Site's getting captured by GUA, interestingly. Yeah, I think the thing that's always a difficult explanation to a lot of players, but just what Papercut and I were talking about here, is you don't have to build rams to break someone's base, right? So it's very rare that you're going to see rams at like higher levels early in the game. What you're normally going to see is a suffocation of resources. It's just like a blockade around your opponent's base. They can't do anything. And if they keep playing at that point, you'll build a lead slowly. And then if they're not going to give up, you can build rams. But normally, you'll just build up enough unit mass that you'll suffocate them and then just dive their base and kill them. Like, it's pretty rare I make rams these days, and I kill a lot of people in feudal. Oh, dude, fortified outpost right here is kind of diabolical. I like it, though. I like a fortified outpost in your opponent's base. And you know what would be good, I think, also from MOKOMI is just some palisades around. You know, with these mounted samurai are so dangerous, man. They're so dangerous as far as raiding goes. I would love to see some palisades out. He's got a ton of archers. Ton of archers. So that is good against these Onimusha, which are basically crossbows for Japan. GUA moving out to the berries here. Yeah, here comes a mounted samurai raid, and it's painful to have to chase these guys around the base, man. It's always painful. Lipany is a pretty wallable map as well with some of these cliffs. So you could even wall in the market or this gold. You know, you have a wood line here, you have another cliff here. It's a very wallable map. It's one of the easiest maps in the game to fully wall. Here comes the mounted samurai push. So MOKOMI is scaling some crossbows now, which is going to be huge. He is getting the Abbey upgrade, so each, like the Regnants, or if he puts down a monastery, can basically function as Aachen chapels. He's doing the right thing here, where you just want your archers to focus down the Onimusha. You don't want your archers to shoot the samurai at all. This is always a micro tip, right? Your archers always target the unarmored units. You should never target armored units. Dude, I hope he throws down a wall right here. Yeah, good targeting here by MOKOMI. Very good micro. He just killed he killed all the Onimusha. I think GUA threw a Urashiro in his town center, so his villagers are producing faster. That's something really important to keep up. You know, the thing GUA was really pushed in this game, so this makes a little more sense that he did it this game. But I've noticed he always blocks his farm space around his town center. Like with a lot of civs. And especially as Japan, you want farm space around this TC. So that is a little limiting later because your town center, the more upgraded it is, it gives more harvest rate for your farms. So yeah, good wall here. Good wall here. Nice walls by MOKOMI. Military in favor of MOKOMI, but he's got a lot of archers. And really pretty even eco-wise. You know, MOKOMI getting a little more... Actually, they're really probably about even as far as res per minute. MOKOMI has been working on the farm transition, though. Curse Storehouse helps GUA with the transition. GUA actually going back over to his starting gold, which he might have kind of a rude awakening when the villagers get there. Yeah. He's gonna have to go burn that tower down. See, if MOKOMI sees this is a perfect time to push. You know the mounted samurai are back here. They are gonna burn it fast, but it's still a good time to try to get in there. Which is exactly what he's doing. It is a lot of Yumi. There's no... I forget, I'm blanking on the name of the unit, but there's no daimyo unit here for the Yumi Ashigaru. There's no bannerman, so the Yumi's still doing pretty weak damage. It's a huge clash. Archers are going to want to focus the back line. Knights, horsemen try to take the mounted samurai while the crossbows focus them down. That's always the goal. And then the archers for MOKOMI trying to focus down the back line. There's a lot of mounted samurai here, but there are also still a lot of crossbows. I think MOKOMI's taking this pretty decisively right now. The blue stream coming in from across the map. And an absolute wipe of a fight for MOKOMI there. Army value now seriously in favor of MOKOMI. And there are like 30 villagers out here for GUA. And GUA might have to call it. I will say GUA's got 2,000 food in the bank. So just not able to get the units out. I think lack of unit producers. GUA does call it. That's GG. And MOKOMI on fire right now, dude. MOKOMI on fire. I thought he could have won that game much earlier. But looking dominant right now. I would say, you know, GUA won a tough first game. And MOKOMI's really looked pretty dominant in the last 3 games. I think he's playing really well. But GG's to both players. It's always a tough effort. I really thought GUA was back in that game. Going against the HRE economy is always a bit tough, but this is why you lose that fight at your base, unfortunately. I've done that a million times myself, so I can comment on it. If you're floating resources, those are units that you don't have in that fight. So, you know, if GUA is able to macro a little better there, he's got 2,000 food worth of units that he could have had in that big fight when MOKOMI pushes on him. You can maybe hold in that situation, right? So there's a lot of times I lose games, and then I go and I look, and I'm like, I had like 3,000 resources. I didn't even spend them. So, you know, macro is a big, big part of the game. As many units as you can get out. I think that Aachen Chapel was doing work for MOKOMI, though. You can see how much wood he gathered. Really pretty remarkable. And I think, yeah, just an overall pretty good game for MOKOMI there. Were these always called annihilation victories? Because I feel like they used to be elimination victories. So GUA on the brink here in this best 7. MOKOMI up 3-1 now. And is on fire in this grand finals. Let's see if they're getting this next draft in. Knowing GUA, I know he's pissed at himself right now, but it's frustrating to lose games where you feel like you're not playing well, but he's just gotta, if he can, crazier things have happened. If he can keep a cool head. He's still got a chance here. We've actually got Mongol against French here for this game 5. Y'all know how I am with Mongol. I'll try not to be critical of Mongol gameplay. I love watching Mongol gameplay, though. You gotta tower rush. You gotta at least Dark Age Spear Rush the French here, even if you don't drop a tower. You gotta knock French off gold if you're playing as Mongol here. Once that French Knight Mass builds, you're in trouble if you're playing Mongol, so... Normally, when I'm playing Mongol against French, what I'm opening up with is spears, and then I'm going into Keshik. I think so, man. I think GUA is, like, a good at aggressive play. And funny enough, he really kind of missed that last game. Like, the no units is not... I don't feel like it's his strong suit, you know? Like, he's really good at those feudal fights and engagements. Once these guys are in game, we'll get going. Yeah, I agree. I also feel like he tried to, you know, do something a little different there with the naked fast castle and just... MOKOMI was able to punish him there. You can't go naked fast castle against top players. I mean, really, I think anyone who's Conqueror 3, you can't go naked fast castle against. Probably not even just Conqueror 3s. Because I feel like once you get into Conqueror level, like, people are pretty aggressive. / can be when they need to. Yeah, you never know what can happen, though. I can't remember exactly what series it was, but I casted one that was a reverse sweep in a best of 5. It might have been Hunter against Mr. Munch. Yeah, it's a great question, Daximus. It's kind of hard to tell. Honestly, the best thing you can do, and I know I say this too often, and it's maybe too broad. It's just like you have to continually scout what their army size is. So like if they build a few units at first and you just don't see them building any more units, there's kind of two things. Like, one, are they building more units, and how many guys do they have on gold? So if they're not really scaling their army size up much and they've got a bunch of guys on gold still, they're going castle. That's pretty much how to tell. And a lot of people do that, right? I mean, it's very effective to... Yeah, man. We all are. Don't worry. We're all trash at scouting. Even the best players are still trash at scouting most of the time. It's definitely something everyone can get better at. Like, even the best players in the game, man, you'll see them going for raids with horsemen and knights and stuff. They don't have a scout. Because I think people are really good at scouting most of the time in that early game, because there's not a lot going on. And then once you get that, like, mid-late game, you just kind of forget to do your scouting job. So what's up, Conquerors? We've got game 5 here. Yes, it's game 5. Game 5 here in a best of 7 series on EGC Gorge. Fighting out of the blue corner, we've got MOKOMI playing French. Fighting out of the purple corner, we've got GUA playing Mongol. So MOKOMI, he's playing against Mongol. This guy's smart, right? He knows what's coming. So he's actually going to drop a tower and a mine. This does not protect you from a tower rush. So, being the Mongol guy that I am, building a tower on your gold like this does not protect you from a Mongol tower rush, right? I don't like this. Players do this a lot, and I think this is what most pros have always told players to do. Is most people would put their GUA right here, though, is that you just send your villagers to a straggler tree so that your villagers don't block the town center. But what you really need to do on this base setup for Mongol, I'm a bit of a Mongol base setup. I'm very picky about it because I played Mongol a lot. What you really want, you want your town center here on the wood line so that you can also get gold so that there's no drop-off issue. And anytime I'm placing my town center, I'm going to select my villagers, shift-click to the wood, place the town center, and I'll send the one guy to build the uvu. Because what you really want here, which is unfortunate that GUA wasn't able to get, is the town center right here, and then you can put the GUR on the deer. So, you'd be getting deer in Dark Age instead of sheep. Dude, he's not going tower. He's going pasture. In MOKOMI, I told you, this guy's good. He doesn't finish the tower because if he doesn't get rushed and he needs the wood later, he can cancel it for full price back. So, again, I'm interested to see how GUA plays this. I'll always be more critical, I guess, just in this situation because I'm a Mongol player. But I'm always going to tower rush French gold. Because I've got to knock them off this and stop the knight spam or the potential for pro scouts. And you can see MOKOMI's next gold is like nowhere to be found if you knock MOKOMI off this gold. The next gold he's going to go to is this big gold. So you put like one Keshik on patrol. And you have a tower here. So it'll be interesting to see how this game turns out. The good thing that GUA has done here is the pasture going to give him a long lifespan of these sheep. So, like, that part's really solid, right? Like, a lot of these guys playing Mongol, they'll go for this pasture. If you're going into Mangadai or something, you can keep building pastures up here. You have, you know, a safe source of food for a long time. But ideally, when you're playing, you want to get the town center between the wood and gold. You get the early deer, and that gives you in a great spot to go to your sheep later. So, School of Cavalry coming up for MOKOMI. Landmark going to be coming up for GUA soon. You know, MOKOMI did a great job of getting his gold early here. And Deerstone's coming in for GUA. No surprise there. There's really not a good reason these days to go Silver Tree. Deerstones is always better. With, you know, I used to be a Silver Tree guy for a long time. And the simple fact now is you can just build Deerstones and then make markets if you want to trade. So they got to give Silver Tree some sort of buff. It's just not very good these days. It's literally just a little bit better of a market. So you get, you know, 100 wood out of the landmark. Yeah. Don't know about that. So Khan over here checking some things out. MOKOMI does finally just build the tower. He says, yeah, I'm going to need this later anyways, and go ahead and complete this. So, knight coming out for MOKOMI here. And this is where you're in a dangerous position as Mongols, right? Because Keshiks, don't bring Keshiks to a knight fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to work. You cannot spam Keshiks into knights. What GUA will have to do is he's going to have to go Spearman Keshik to deal with French knights. Especially now that MOKOMI has access to gold. So I'm really interested to see how this gets played. GUA opening with a Rax here. Hell yeah, Daximus. Thanks for joining the channel, man. Appreciate you. And thanks for joining the live stream as always. So we got a knight coming out from MOKOMI. It's not going to be able to find a lot here, right? Like, GUA is pretty turtled. Khan, wait for more? Yeah, that's a good pun right there. Pun intended. Nice little tower out here on the deer by MOKOMI. Yeah, I try to just do my normal content for the YouTube channel, you know, like this live, and then the normal content for YouTube. And then, kind of as I play games, I try to kind of do some occasional stuff for members too that you'll see in there. That a lot of the times, that kind of analysis of games. So hopefully that stuff's helpful to you, but much appreciated. We got quad economic technologies coming from MOKOMI. I love this. I really love this by MOKOMI. You're French, you get them cheap. Double broadaxe, wheelbarrow, specialized pick, survival techniques, all coming in. Like, let's go. That's awesome. GUA going mass spear here. So, he's actually thrown down an archer range to build archers. What I normally like doing in this position as Mongol is if you go spears, French will start making archers. And once they've started making archers, this is your time to spam keshiks, right? If French is going to spam archers, you just start massing up keshiks without showing that you're massing too many. And then when they push out with the archers and knights, then you hit them with a giant ball of keshiks and you can take them. But MOKOMI's comp is going to look good here with French Knight Archer against Spear Archer for sure. Deer Stones is giving a nice little speed boost to everyone within GUA's base. So all the villagers are moving faster. It's really, really pretty good for their efficiency. And you can see this is the problem going pastures. I've experienced this problem a million times with the Mongols. They're a very good long-term investment, but they cost a lot of wood up front. And the sheep don't come out very fast. So you can see he's running out of sheep in the base. What we want to see is the deer early here. And then you move to the sheep. GUA a little behind on villagers through no fault of his own. You know, French gets a little faster villager production here. So that's just generally going to happen, and especially in these Mongol-French games, that French is going to build up a villager lead on you over time. So Blacksmith coming down for GUA here. MOKOMI already getting the Iron Undermesh for his Knights. It's a really good upgrade for his Knights, and I do think GUA's really been doing a fantastic job of defending against these Knights. MOKOMI's been running kind of these triple-pronged attacks almost. And GUA defending pretty well here. You don't want to chase Knights too much, though. I've actually got a video coming up that I've been working on. I'm not sure when it's going to air, but I am going to get it out there. And one of the things is you don't chase Knights, right? They're always going to outrun your spears. So you really just want to keep your spears around this defensive area and pull them back if they run out too far. I like that he moved out on the deer. You definitely need to go ahead and get the deer. Like, eat all the deer. Let the sheep at home from the pastures build up over time. That's the right move. I think MOKOMI's done a really good job here getting out on deer as well. Second stable coming down from MOKOMI. He's got no interest in Pro Scouts, no interest in Castle Age. We're going to pump out some Knights and settle this thing in Feudal Age. GUA thinking the same thing with his unit comp. I think what's a little weird about GUA's unit comp is he's going to need to rely on the Mongol archers to snipe out the French archers and then the spears to engage on the Knights. And that's going to be really difficult. I'm not saying he can't do it. It's just going to be difficult micro-wise. And every single one of these towers is going to give the Yam aura. So Mongol units, you always want to operate under this Yam aura, which is one of the reasons it's so strong. So you can actually see the archers and spearmen with 1.44 movement speed, which is really strong, actually. As far as I know, fastest infantry in the game when they're in the Yam network. I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. But they're pretty damn fast there. So GUA looks like he's scaling towards castle. And, you know, he really might be able to get there. I'm interested to see if he goes Step Redoubt or Kulatai. These days, I'm always a Kulatai guy myself. But if you want to go Fast Imp, Step Redoubt's normally the option for you. This is where you're going to get in a little danger. So when these knights start scaling up, which they're going to really start snowballing in number now for MOKOMI. And he's doing a great job just being annoying with these knights, keeping GUA in the base. And here's the push on the deer, where it's a little tough. You know, you wish you had these deer a little earlier. He pops the movement speed arrow, interestingly enough. I'm an attack speed arrow kind of guy, actually. If you're going to get in a fight, the plus 50% attack speed for your range units is just crazy strong, right? Let's go and Step Redoubt on the gold. Ideally, what you want to see here is a couple towers on the gold, and then sprinkled towers on, or sorry, a couple outposts on the gold, and then sprinkled upgrades on those outposts to defend your gold. Because MOKOMI's going to push when he sees that you've aged up, right? So this could be a really good play for GUA. It's just also, in my mind, a really risky play against French. So you're going to have to somehow survive this push, and that's why you need these outposts. He's got the wood for it. You just really need the outposts down for these sprinkled emplacements. Or at least garrison spots for your villagers. He is going to start getting a metric craft ton of gold. So get all your veterancies, and then you need to throw down a market. But here comes MOKOMI, right? I mean, he knows this is the timing push. So you're kind of in danger here. You're going to need villagers in the town center to defend this, I think. I would just garrison 15 here, and you try to defend best you can. Yeah, that's good right there. If the town center can pick off some of these vills or start some of those archers, excuse me. But yeah, a bit of a food issue, as predicted. Once his veterancies come in, though, that'll be solid. But MOKOMI's really looking to match, so MOKOMI's trying to apply a lot of pressure here and match the castle. Going for a boar on the backside. He's on double deer right now. It's just, I gotta say, MOKOMI just playing a really clean game. Just playing a really clean game, man. So no Gur here. Get the Gur down. These pastures are never going to be as effective as you think they are with just 3 of them. Guildhall coming down from MOKOMI, so, you know, this is kind of, I'm expecting this game to go late. Nice little push here by GUA. MOKOMI coming from the back, though, and I'm not sure there's a lot of spears here to defend this. This could be a game-ending attack by these knights. I'm not even kidding. With MOKOMI, or with, oh, there are some spears here. I think he can just kill the spears. If MOKOMI can eat through the spears and hit the food villagers, I mean, this might be a game ender. Depending on how many villagers he gets here. These knights are really dangerous. GUA did have a nice push up here. Probably needs to pull some spearmen back, which he is. And honestly, Villager's doing a nice job of getting out of there. He's not going to lose as many as I thought he was, so he's alright. You know, now MOKOMI, he's probably just going to leave this on food. Once you get to 2400, you pull it and you build the Red Keep, Red Palace. All the veterancies coming in, fantastic from MOKOMI. GUA going in crossbows, which is definitely much needed against these knights. Because these veteran Royal Knights, they hit different. They hit different. That's for sure. They're already much stronger than, you know, a Keshik that you could make, and then they hit veterancy, and they're really on another level. So, he is doing a great job. He's getting a lot of gold GUAs off the step readout here. And making a push. This is a classic GUA raid. He's going to get some bill kills out here. That's a nice little raid with the infantry. He's kind of being a menace with these infantry on the map. And these villagers for sure in trouble. Luckily, MOKOMI playing French, he's got a little leeway here with how many villagers he's got. So even if he loses a couple, not the end of the world. Here comes the army from MOKOMI trying to clean this up. He's going to lose a couple villagers, but this is a huge amount of archers from MOKOMI. Neither side prioritizing relics yet. MOKOMI's still doing run-bys in the base. Just super difficult to deal with as a Mongol, no walls, but that's why these outposts with sprinkled emplacement would be really good. And you can see, as I was talking about, if you drop a market, that can really help you balance the eco out when you've got the step readout. So no monastery yet. Expanding to a new gold mine, which is a good play here. Actually, maybe getting a little stone. Ooh, big skewer by the spears here on those knights. Multiple knights going down. Nice little skewer by GUA. But the archers are on the way. If you get tired of Mongols running you around, you just push the base. Dangerous amount of villagers on the deer out here without an outpost. Yeah, GUA doesn't have an Uvu right now. You're 100% right. You know, I've done that a lot before too. I can't lie, because he's trying to build one right now. Your original Uvu runs out, and you kind of forget about it, and then you realize you have no stone. This is actually a really big fight here. Archers are going to do really well against everything GUA's got, though, is the problem. So, he uses defense arrow, which is really a good idea in this situation. One of the best upgrades you can get from the Uvu, actually, I mean, there are a lot of good ones, but one that's really overlooked, is there's an upgrade in the Uvu, just the base version, increases con signal arrow duration by 5 seconds and 2 tiles. Which is crazy good if you don't play Mongol for you to understand. Like, the defense arrow gives +2 armor. The attack speed arrow is totally broken, gives +50% attack speed to range units. So, if you're in a fight and you've got the upgrade, you pop that for 10 seconds for your range units. That's like having 50% more range units in your army for 10 seconds. If you didn't go step readout and you put Kurulatai on top of that, I mean, Mongol can get some... Mongol's really about, like, timed fights. You want to take timed fights with Mongol with Signal Arrow and Kurulatai, and if you do, you take some crazy good trades. Otherwise, you know, they can be pretty vulnerable. GUA going in. Cognate Palace totally changes this game. I'm honestly surprised MOKOMI hasn't been able to kill GUA yet, just based on the positions. But Cognate Palace coming up completely changes the fabric of this game. If you're GUA, you get the Cognate up, and I'm honestly, if I'm GUA, I'm getting Elite Mangadai, and all I'm making is Mangadai. Yeah, that was bound to happen up here. But yeah, I'm just getting Elite Mangadai with Incendiary Arrows and Imp. I don't know if he has anybody on gold right now. That's really the timing you want to hit with this Cognate, though, is like, yeah, the units are going to be great, but you need Elite Mangadai. Nessa Bees might actually be pretty good against MOKOMI's Archer Mass. I would think MOKOMI's got to dive this base right now and try to win this game. But maybe he just goes Imp himself. I mean, the Guild Hall's got 900 food. He's not terribly far away from Imp, but he's having a farm transition, I think, which is just kind of rough to... The boar's actually still got a lot of food on it. But yeah, if like Rus Knights start coming out or Elite Mangadai start coming out, yeah. I mean, I agree. JD doesn't have enough heavy units, but a lot of this is not protected. You know what I mean? I feel like this once the Cognate Palace goes up. Ah, dude, it's so difficult to fight after the Cognate Palace has been rolling. He's gonna dive. I think he's either got to go Imp right now or try to dive. Huge problem for GUA is he's not using Step Redoubt up here. The Step Redoubt has to be up here. It's 50% more gold. The archers just need to focus down these spears and then the knights take it. But the Nest of B is really going to do work here, I think. MOKOMI is picking up relics, though. So, I mean, MOKOMI's going to age up. He did pull the guild hall, and he's getting relics is really important if he can get a lot of these relics. Second Nest of Bees coming out, dude. And Warrior Monks. GUA should definitely get some of these relics with these Warrior Monks. So the one upgrade you have to get, and I learned this through experience, right? Like playing a lot of Mongol games. You have got to get Military Academy if you're going Cognate Palace. Just got to get it, man. Increases the speed that these units are coming from Cognate. So, you know, Step Redoubt's got to be here as well. He is picking up some of the relics with Warrior Monks. That's good, solid work. Knights are going... Looks like they're going up here. Red Palace is getting dropped on the middle sacred side. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I guess he kind of locks down that entire middle path with it is the nice part. Maybe you just wall off the bottom and the top and like you try to go sacred side or something here. It would have been hilarious if he dropped it out here. What if you dropped the Red Palace right on GUA's big gold? Yeah, he probably could have done it with the army he has, too. But these, dude, Elite Knights are going to be a nightmare for GUA to deal with. I think that's just a distraction, Wololo. But yeah, Elite Royal Knights with Royal Bloodlines. I for sure also think French will win in the long term. There's a bit of a timing with this Cognate Palace in Imp, but you will eventually get to the point where it's not that good anymore, right? Like you're saying, Jade, like once you just get enough eco and you're on max pop, Cognate's just not that good anymore. Oleg, what's going on? Welcome to the live stream. We're in a best of 7 series on game 5 right now. MOKOMI up 3-1. So this is actually match point. Yeah, these Elite Knights are going to be absolutely brutal. I still think... I know GUA doesn't play Mongol a lot. You got to go Elite Mangadai, man. Got to. Elite Mangadai 1 can actually deal with Knights pretty well. But you could just absolutely rip through this economy. There's no walls up on the map for MOKOMI, so... Elite Mangadai, I mean, MOKOMI would be on like 35 villagers. MOKOMI is playing like a goat today, man. I'll tell you. The last 3 games, he's looked really good. Last 4 games now, he's looked really, really good. Sacred Victory, yeah. Sacred Victory's coming in if he gets some walls up, I think. These Elite Royal Knights, even without Royal Bloodlines, are absolute behemoths to fight against. MOKOMI, the Abbasid guy, is what I hear. So this is another, like, kind of this isn't really GUA's fault. It's just really annoying. Is you can't put GURs near the step redoubt because they'll deposit in the wrong place. It's very frustrating. Oh, the hoi hoi pow though. This is the guy she tells you not to worry about. Gonna be a big fight here. I think GUA holds with these knobs, man. I mean, the knobs are gonna be really, really good against the range mass. You could probably start powing down the Red Palace. I mean, 3 knobs out for GUA is crazy. If he can keep these knobs alive, he can stay in the game a long time, but this gold is his biggest issue. The economy really looking pretty even as far as res count because of the step redoubt. And you gotta factor in that the cognate's bringing in a lot of like about 1,000 res-ish as well per minute. The biggest issue long term for Mongols is no walls. You can do this all day with knights. Like late game knights, just run around the Mongol base forever. I think MOKOMI's just kind of biding his time with the farm transition right now, right? Like, guild halls on gold, do some raiding with knights, get all my upgrades. I'm on 2 TC as French. Basically, it's almost, you know, 3 TC, 2.5 TC. Yeah, GUA does need to watch this. I mean, GUA is obviously a better player than me, but dude, trade for MOKOMI now, too. This guy's an animal. But I could teach GUA a lot about playing Mongol, that's for sure. I think the game against Felisberto, he had a little trouble with Mongol in that one, too. Yeah, MOKOMI's eco just looking fantastic. And there's no way you can really protect your economy as Mongol, you know. What you can also do in late game Mongol, which is why I like Elite Mangadai with the fire arrows. Where's this dude's Uvu? I think it's just dead. Is you can get the bounty upgrade for food, gold, and stone. And you just go around and you kill everyone's villagers and you torch all their farms for like infinite food, wood, and stone. Yeah. I think most players also have very little deep practice with Mongol. It's like kind of a hard civ to get into, and then at the top level, it's just not that good. Like Mongol's just not that good. It's good in specific matchups and on some hybrid maps, but like it's really good against Byzantine. But most I think it's terrible in the French matchup. But I also know how to play it against French and do pretty well, so. Yeah, once the cannons come in, shit is gonna hit the fan. He's just got these knights waiting back here for another woodline raid. Nice little hand cannoneers coming in for GUA, though. I do like that. The thing is, GUA cannot quickly replace this army because a lot of it's cognate. So, you know, MOKOMI is going to end up having the economy to replace the army. GUA is not. The wall... Oh, dude, the stone wall is coming up for MOKOMI. I think what's most hilarious in this game is MOKOMI is the one trading. It's not the Mongol player trading. MOKOMI is trading as French. It's like an insult. These stone walls, though, if he gets stone walls up, he's just... I think he's just playing for a sacred side victory long term. Yeah, more woodline raids. It's up to 116 eco, man. He's got 2,000 food a minute. More raids on the gold. This is what you gotta do. I mean, MOKOMI's doing a good job. It is. It's the Great French Wall, dude. It's the wall the French made to keep the Mongols out. The Great Wall of France. Yeah, keep on the sacred site, man. Yeah. Sacred site victory for sure. Guild Hall is on gold to have... Oh, he did pull it, actually. He pulled it. More farms coming down, though. Incendiary is going to be big. You gotta go Mangadai, brother. You gotta... Dude, Mangadai are not very good units. Whether one of the units, Elite Mangadai, are pretty broken, dude. I would actually say Elite Mangadai are broken. They're just one of those units. Like, Feudal, not good unit. Castle Age, decent unit. Elite Mangadai, broken-ass unit. So, the POW is bringing down the keep. So, GUA realizes the issue. He's actually got a nice little defense force against the Raiding Knights. This is going to be a big fight, dude. I actually like GUA's army here just because of 4 knobs. Like, MOKOMI has a big range mass, and there are 4 Nest of Bees. Ooh, 1 goes down. But 4 knobs, dude? That is not good. You can do a lot of damage with that. More, oh, dude, more raids on Goldmine. This cannon, though, if he can, excuse me, sorry. If this cannon can start bringing down some of the knobs, then we're gonna have a game here. Gotta get more cannons out to bring down. Oh, he's going for the hoi hoi pow. A fine shot. Arb upgrade coming in. Crossbow stirrups increase. And switching into horsemen. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have more knights. I know it's like a pretty anti-knight comp, but still. Royal Knights at this point in the game are just so damn good. Bro, how is GUA doing it? I don't know, but GUA is doing it. Only 1 knob left, though. That's serious. The keep is killing it, I think. Only one knob left is really gonna hurt him. And this might be a battle of egos at this point. MOKOMI just with more eco. Cognate gonna come out with Elite Knights. I think those are Roost Knights to come out. All the knobs are down. All the knobs being down is the cannons got them. That's a huge deal, man. You can't lose those knobs in this fight. MOKOMI just spamming archers, which is going to beat this comp from GUA eventually. Elite archers with incendiary arrows. And I think MOKOMI's got it, man. That was GUA's whole army. It's not easily replaceable. He's got all the sacred sites. And the Great French Wall. It's online. Did he just... He sniped the hoi hoi pow, too. A wild hoi hoi pow appears. Dude, I heard it's like 1% catch rate on hoi hoi pows with an ultra ball. You don't want to use your master ball on it, but it's hard to catch with those ultra balls. Yeah, I hate to say it for GUA, but I just don't see a way back in this. The way back in it before the stone walls went up were Elite Mangadai for sure. This economy is still really vulnerable to Mangadai, right? Like, yeah, there are towers and stuff, but we've got, you know, in here a bit harder, but out here we've got like 50 eco units that are pretty unguarded. And you can kite this army, that's the main thing. You get the Yam Aura, you can just kite this army to death with Mangadai, even though they have archers. And this is the death push from MOKOMI. He's like, alright, I don't even need sacred sites to win. Goat Comey pushing in on the base of GUA. It was a close winners finals when MOKOMI won 3-2. He didn't want a repeat of that. And here comes what is likely to be the final battle of the game. We've got Knight Archer from MOKOMI with some royal cannons at the back. Cannons working down the infrastructure. Honestly, taking out the pastures is a really big deal when you're playing against the Mongol. A lot of villagers out here still trying to gather the sheep. Horsemen. Those are feudal horsemen. But GUA doing everything he can here. Horsemen trying to get the cannons on the back. They got a Roost Knight in here. Spearmen trying to take the knights at the front. Hoi Hoi Pow at the back. Warrior Scout coming in for a Wololo, trying to get back in this game, but gonna get sniped out. And the game gets called. GG's to the players. Great series, man. Congratulations to MOKOMI. MOKOMI's your winner of the GUA USA Cup. That was game 4 for MOKOMI. Someone correct me if I'm mistaken, but I'm almost positive. That was game 4 out of the best of 7 series, and MOKOMI has now won the series 4-1. So, great game to MOKOMI. GG's to both the players. Obviously, to make it to this point, they're both really good players. I just feel like I know these players are pretty equally matched. Oh, dude, MOKOMI winning the next Red Bull Wololo easy. This is a launching point for him, man. If you win the GUA USA Cup, you're ready to take on the big dogs. But seriously, in all seriousness, MOKOMI played really well. Like, he played a really good series. The economy count was just never going to work in GUA's favor this game. I think the villager chart's actually a much more accurate chart. I think it's counting sheep in for GUA on that one, because the economy was not particularly close. Going against that French economy. And overall unit count, you can kind of see where the bottom fell out. Unfortunately for GUA, MOKOMI walling up the sacred sites, knew that was his win condition. And GUA trying to push on that last sacred site. And unable to take it. And losing the series. So I'm sure, GUA is a good player. He'll look back on the series, kind of realize what he needed to do to play better, what he could fix. MOKOMI just looking super dominant. And the 4 games he won all in a row, it's really rare that you would see GUA win the first game of a best of 7 series and then MOKOMI rattle off 4 straight. I don't know how many times I've seen that. He really did, man. I mean, MOKOMI was playing a clean game. Like, there weren't many things I looked at where I was, thinking MOKOMI wasn't playing clean. Appreciate the comment about my casting. Yeah, I mean, as far as casting, I do like casting. If there are some tournaments in the future that are fun to cast, I'll try to do them. I think mostly what I try to do is just, explain what's going on in the game. I don't like trying to make a bunch of predictions about what's going to happen in the game, because you never know what's going to happen in the game. So I try to just kind of focus on what are the players doing in the moment, what's happening on the map, what are their resources like, things like that, rather than, this is not a dig at any casters. It's just sometimes when I watch some cast, it feels like casters are trying too hard to figure out what the players are doing. I like just trying to watch and learn from the players. They're great players. See what they're doing and kind of cast on what they're doing in the moment, because you never know what players are thinking in the game, man. There's so much going on, and it's so easy from caster view to say like, yeah, players should do this, they should do that. But it's tough. We all know, man. We all play the game. When you're actually playing and there's like 60 things going on at the same time, you just kind of do the best you can, right? So, I mean, I think it was a good series, but yeah, MOKOMI just looking really strong in the last 4 games. Well, with that, I think I'm gonna wrap the cast up. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, last game I should have looked at MOKOMI more. I agree. I get a little too excited about Mongol gameplay, you know. little too excited there. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining. Much appreciated. I'm gonna see tonight if I'm doing team games with my friends. I'm not gonna cast that, but if I'm not doing that, then I might jump on for free for all later. We'll see how the weekend goes. If I don't stream some free for all or Crucible or something this weekend, I'm gonna do it next week when I have some time off. But it was a fun cast. It's always more fun, you know, with people watching and leaving comments, talking, and everything like that. So appreciate you guys. And gonna sign off for now. Hope all you conquerors out there have a fantastic night. See you guys.